Here we go. Going down the slide. Woo! We did it. Love it.
Tell me
Everything.
everything.
Tell me everything.
All right. We are live in the 305.
All right.
All right, everybody. We are on Girls Trip Women in Logistics, not affiliated with anything, just our own Women in Logistics,
Yep.
right? We started, this is our inaugural year of our Girls Trip.
Yep.
So fun.
No, it is so fun. Look at this cool place you found for us.
It's literally like a Barbie dream house.
It is.
I know. This whole episode will be going over each different room, but we're outside right now, as you can tell. But there's a bowling area, putt-putt, a fire pit in the back, basketball, pool, obviously. What else is there?
Disc golf?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're smarter than me, so yeah. I don't even know what that's called. But yeah, there's lots of great stuff just on the outside. Like I could just live out here.
Yeah, how many bags of firewood did we go through last
Oh
night?
gosh, I think like 6. Yeah, the fire was going hot last night. We were having lots of fun.
Yep.
Speaking of our fireside hangout,
Yep.
part of the thing that we did was name 3 quick 3 things that or whatever. We went to ChatGPT. We needed help on things to talk about.
Well, icebreakers.
Little
right? And you get
icebreakers.
4 women who don't know each other
Right.
that well together. We
Yeah.
ended up, really covering some territory last
Totally.
night, but you need some icebreakers every now and then.
It's funny because I feel like once you get girls comfortable, then we all end up being like, okay, here's our whole life story. Here's all the things that's happened. Here's work. Here's home life.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
We were out pretty late. I mean,
Yeah. 11. Yeah.
It's late for my old ass.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, well, let's start off with our top 3 things that we did last night. Okay, so this thing was, we asked ChatGPT to help, and so it was basically like 50 prompt list of shoot off, name 3 things of whatever, right? So I'm going to go first. I'm going to ask you, what are the 3 careers that you could lie about?
Aspirationally, I wanted to be a speech pathologist because it was
Ooh.
in the medical field, but I didn't have to see blood and guts.
Yes,
you
okay.
know? So
I could picture you in the medical field. That makes sense. Okay.
And I realized I thought after I decided to go down the marketing path, I decided I wanted to switch to speech pathology, but I was too far gone in my college days. So I always kind of wanted to be in the medical field.
Yeah.
And help people. You can help anyone from kids to seniors to people who, maybe have had an accident.
Yeah.
Different things. But that didn't work out.
Right. Oh, and you're in logistics. Now you're part of Women in Logistics.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's one, I guess. And then the other one, of course, I would want to be fraud girl.
Oh my gosh.
I want to be a superhero in my field.
I did not pay her to say this, by the way.
Well, no. I mean, you guys who have, created a brand for yourself based on the knowledge that you possess. I mean, that's pretty fantastic.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lie about that. I would actually just
Right. Do it. Yeah, definitely. What's number 3?
Number 3?
Gotta be something fun.
Oh,
what's the funnest job you would want?
Oh, like a professional skateboarder or something.
Okay.
I could ride the half pipes and do all the tricks. That'd be super fun. Maybe make the Olympic team. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. The next Tony Hawk over here. Tonita Hawk. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
My 3 would be I would lie about being here's what movie I think of, the Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pilot. I could lie my way into a pilot seat.
Yeah, that's true.
I can work it where I will work. I think the other thing would be something like a big head honcho on stage, like a presenter, let's say Oscar presenter.
Oh.
That I could lie my way on stage for that.
Kimmel or
yeah.
One of those
yeah. I could do that.
Yeah.
And then number 3 would be, that's a tough one. I don't even know. Okay, something fun, like you said, though.
Yeah.
Would be, which my pilot one's pretty fun. But I think my other one would be, I'd want to be a snowboarder. Since you're doing skateboarder, I would do snowboarding.
Okay.
I suck at snowboarding. And it'd be
like the snow.
Yeah, it'd be very prevalent that you can't snowboard. I can snow ski, or I used to. I grew up in Minnesota, so I grew up doing that. And yeah, I did skiing. I did trick skiing, actually, was I did the trick water skiing. And then I did, I didn't really ski for competition, but I did trick skiing for competition. That was my sport growing up. I know.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's impressive.
I know.
I just don't love snow and cold.
I know, I don't either.
Yeah,
That's
here we
why.
are. We're roasting out here.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
no
Okay, let's say what temperature
November
it is.
17th.
November
and
17th in Tampa, and it is 76, y'all.
I've been feeling every
I'm like,
bit of
y'all.
Yeah.
We can tell we're from Georgia.
That's right.
Okay, what's your question? What's your name 3?
Name 3 things you'd buy if money didn't matter.
That's a good one. Okay. Money didn't matter. I would buy a plane so I can go anywhere.
There you go.
Yeah, with my own pilot. That's just on standby.
Okay, does that count as 1 or 2? Is that a package deal?
I count that as a package deal. If money didn't matter, I would buy
Or
like
you could just fake your way into being the
right. I could fake my way to be a pilot. Yeah, I think ChatGPT could walk me through. Hey, here, how do I fly a plane? You know that you can actually make ChatGPT like talk about. Like you can say like one person was like, how do you steal a plane or some sort of plane? But you can't ask it to do a criminal act because it will say I'm not allowed to do that. But if you say create me a song, it will be like create me a song about hypothetically stealing a jet pilot plane.
You're kidding.
It will do it.
Oh my God.
I know. So AI is not all it's cracked up to be, people. There's bad things that it can do.
Funny.
Okay, so that's
plane and a pilot.
1 and 2. Yeah. Well, one I count that 1.
Package deal.
Okay, if money had no object, honestly, it's kind of stupid, but I would buy like those super expensive, crazy purses because I just have like Target purses. That's like what I wear. And so I want like a nice purse. Like, well, I want to know what the hype's about, but I don't want to ever spend the money. It'd have to be stupid money. Like I would have to have stupid money to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
And then number 3, it would be like a really fun sports car that I could like just rip and roll in because I had my Jeep for a while, which was so fun to drive. Now I'm in my mom car now again.
Yeah.
And I want something fun. We both live near the mountains, and I'm like, I want to just rip and roar up there, and
like a convertible with your hair.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, I would love
you'd
that.
have to get the package deal with the driver, also.
Oh yeah, like I would want like a race car driver.
Absolutely.
You know, like, and I'm like clinging for my life, screaming. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of an adventure junkie in a way, but I'm not really an adventure junkie, but it has to be a new adventure. Like I don't like to repeat adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, want to jump out of an airplane.
Oh.
But my husband told me if I skydived that he would get a motorcycle.
Oh.
So neither of us, I have never skydived, and he does not have a motorcycle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Poor guy. He's deprived by not having. You would like having a motorcycle, hopping on the back. It's
being
fun.
like, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to, because he knows I would never like it if he had a motorcycle.
Right.
Because they're dangerous.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, so is jumping out of a plane. I'm like, but you're with a professional that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the chances of an accident are so slim.
Oh man, though, I don't know. I think like going to where you're about to jump, I would just.
That's why you need that person who's back your, they're on your back. And they just like, you paid for this, woman. You're going.
And they just push you off, really.
God.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it on my own. Like whenever I went to the Grand Canyon, I was honestly okay. Like standing on the edge, like I'm like, okay, yeah, that's really far down. But then my youngest was like walking up, and he was, I think he was 7 at the time. Whenever he walked for the edge, I'm like, I could have thrown up, like projectile thrown up. I was so nervous. But my bigger 2, I'm like, they're like jumping off rocks right on the edge. I'm like, oh, they're fine.
I feel you on the mom front on that one. Yeah. Just one little slip on some rocks and they're gone.
Yeah.
They're probably more sure-footed than we are.
I know, definitely. But oh my God, I couldn't even take it. It was wild. Okay, what's your 3 things?
Okay, my 3. Well, I kind of like your plane idea because I was thinking like I would love to buy experiences. Right?
Yeah.
But experiences require the travel. So
right.
having my own private plane, I might have to steal that one because that's, when you have everything you need and need everything you have.
Yeah.
Really, you're just trying to make memories with people you love. So that's kind of what I would want to do if money was no object. Take my loved ones on fun trips and get to experience things in life we've never would dream of doing. So that would be one. Or I guess that's really all of them. I guess if I had to buy something to facilitate that besides an airplane, I would love like an RV. When my kids were younger, we had this crappy RV that pulled behind. All we did was sleep in there.
Yeah.
It was just a place to go park in the woods and sleep. And we had the best time. Me and my family, my sister and I, she had one and we had one and we go together and we did Thanksgiving out there.
Oh, fun.
Out in the woods. Yeah. And we had crockpot Thanksgiving and.
Oh, fun.
So I'd like a nicer RV.
Yeah.
If money was no object, that would be super fun to do. And I guess that would just be me and my husband. My grown kids might not want to join us. Maybe grandbabies one day. Who knows? And then third thing. Girls love our shoes. Like you and
Ooh,
your
yeah.
designer,
I
your
know, my
designer
purse.
bag. I wouldn't mind like a stupid expensive pair of shoes. Like
Yeah.
I don't do heels because my feet are terrible, but
Me too.
some
Yeah.
really awesome tennis shoes that people pay thousands of dollars for or something.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
I know. It'd be fun just to be like, money doesn't matter, so I'll just buy whatever I want.
Yeah, a whole
Yeah.
closet full of them.
Yeah, whatever we need. I love that.
That's funny.
So, okay, let's talk about how we met because I love how we met. Atlanta,
Yeah.
we're both live in Atlanta area. I live an hour north, but whatever. And cute little Scooter has his little group of Atlantaites, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah, North Atlanta logistics folk.
Yeah, there's a good amount of us that are on this like mail list. Like once a month we get together. If you can show up, you can show up. It's not sponsored. You pay for your own stuff, but you can just go meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, me, and Ryan. Well, I guess the guy from at the time he was with UPS, and I think he just made the leap to FedEx. Mike met us, and he was
Mhm.
going to have date night with his wife, so he had a drink with me and Ryan before you showed up.
Okay, yeah.
Ryan had his little baby
Yeah.
with McGriff, his little baby Jack, I think was his name. So cute. And then you showed up.
You're so good at names. What the heck?
You were like, well, I'm just going to have the champs because then I'm going to meet some girlfriends. Was it
Yeah.
Alive at After 5 in
Yeah.
Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my young adult child goes there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves that. Yeah, so we just kind of got acquainted, and that was right before you were starting the podcast.
Right before, I know.
Yeah, it was like, I think your debut show was the following Tuesday.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think I recorded it already, and I was like ready to, because I think I recorded like 4 episodes before I actually started everything or like announced it. Yeah, but yeah, you guys were like the first sneak peek, I guess,
we
too.
were. We
Yeah.
were in the know, and here I am.
Here you are.
I've never done a podcast.
It's so easy though. You just sit here and talk. It's like you're talking, but you're having to like somewhat talk into a microphone. So that's all.
Am I doing okay?
Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay.
Of course. But yeah.
Then we realized we run in the same brokers.
Yeah.
Circles, with the broker
Conferences
Carrier
and all
Summit,
this stuff.
CIA,
Yeah. I know. And like, how did we not already meet? Weird.
I had seen you in the Broker Carrier Summit in Indy. I just, your aura of fame, I couldn't get.
Oh
I
my
couldn't get away from
God.
it.
Don't even say that. Oh my God.
And I was still kind of a wallflower. I was trying to figure out the Broker Carrier Summit.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to go in Orlando this month, where a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I chose a different path, and we talked about that last night. Not a good
Yeah.
choice. But anyway.
I know. It's so fun. Yeah, it's fun that we were in the same circle just coincidentally. But you've been in logistics for how long?
Afraid to admit it, since 1999. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I started at UPS. I was, like I said last night, I was looking to get my foot in the door to work in marketing at a big brand in Atlanta. We have, Home Depot, we have UPS, we have a lot of big companies in Atlanta. And I had a friend that was in sales as an international account executive at UPS. She was actually a friend of a friend. And she got me after, I had like 6 interviews and took like 4 months to get through. And I got into sales in the Georgia district of UPS and I spent 8 years there, and it was great experience. They have a fantastic sales leadership or sales training and leadership development program, tons of great training, fantastic people, culture, oozing out of every crevice.
I know we were talking about that last night. You're bringing up just like the training. Because one of the other gals that are here that we'll bring on later is they're starting up their own like mentorship program for women. And you're like, yeah, luckily I had that.
I did.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of unique opportunities. I mean, being a woman in a predominantly male company, I mean, this is in the early 2000s even. I mean, UPS had just started allowing women to wear pantsuits when I was there,
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And if you wore a skirt suit, you had to wear hosiery.
What?
Yeah. I mean, there's no bare legs.
Oh my God.
So we,
heaven forbid the bare legs come out. All the men will go crazy.
I mean,
That's
men
crazy.
couldn't wear, I think they just started allowing men to wear blue shirts. Even,
Oh, wow.
but always with the tie. And, you had to keep your facial hair a certain way.
Wow. How have times have changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can thank COVID a good bit for that because I know a lot of my fellow UPSers are able to keep the trendy
big beards.
Beard.
Yeah.
Not the big ones. They have to be tight. But nonetheless, yeah, so there were a lot of women mentorship programs, right?
Very cool.
I mean, one of the presidents of UPS International, she's over the healthcare side of the business, was a great mentor to me at one point in time. And she's obviously gone on, 35 probably close to 40 years there now. Um,
Wow.
I left for family. I did not want to get relocated. Every director I'd worked for, uh, male director I worked for, had relocated their family
Wow.
3 or 4 times just to get to Atlanta, which is where the corporate headquarters is. Um, and on my career path, I probably would have had to move around to at least 1 or 2 different districts around the US. And at the time I was starting my family and I had,
Yeah.
my
That's hard.
second newborn, and just I didn't love the guy I was working for at the time. So I went to work for a customer, actually one of the larger shippers in Atlanta, and I spent 13 years there, as we talked about last night. So
Yeah.
that was in a completely different context. Got a lot to continue to do a lot with parcel there because it was an e-commerce fulfillment company. Um,
That's interesting. That part of
yeah,
the world is like that part of the world of logistics is so foreign to me that like I want to learn all the things,
yeah.
but
It's
you
super
really
fun.
can't really learn it until you're in it, really.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I had an implementation role where I was responsible for not only kind of helping close the deal at the end of the sales process, but onboarding the clients. And I learned so much, not just about logistics and the flow of goods, but also the information flow between systems
Yeah.
and integrating systems. Because, I mean, you truly are married in a fulfillment arrangement.
Yeah.
It's a super tight relationship and they're long-term contracts. So, and obviously the customers don't know that we're in the middle fulfilling those orders. So if
Right.
we're screwing up and not doing our job right, then we
They're
have
complaining. Yeah, they know. Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we did a lot of stuff that we'd never done before. Some of the programs that I was involved with were kind of on the tip of the spear for new products and services that the
Oh,
company
really?
was offering.
That's
So
interesting.
the art of faking it till you make it. I think
Yeah.
you've probably been there a time or two also. But it helped to kind of transform, at the time anyway, what the company was doing, and it allowed them to open doors into some new markets.
That's
And
cool.
today the company continues to thrive. I follow them on this is called it's PBD Worldwide, if I'm plugging them.
Yep.
But yeah, they gave me the opportunity to start the freight brokerage as well. So I had chance to like start up my own business within the safety net of a
Yeah.
larger funded
That's really
company.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I learned everything I care to know about running a brokerage. I think it's
Yep.
fascinating those that can do it and do it successfully. I know it's
It's
such a
grind.
so hard.
Starting from the
Yeah.
beginning is grinding.
Well, and a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that, you're doing, in your company is promote well, you in general, with it wasn't as big of a deal. I mean,
Right.
sure, you always have the chance of
Like straight theft.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna go meet you at a truck stop and gunpoint. Like that was a big thing back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is like in the 16, 17, 18 time frame.
Yeah.
So some of the fraud guard
Right.
solutions, and carrier vetting was important, carrier setup was important, obviously, but it wasn't,
Right.
you roll the
Wasn't
dice
2020.
every day.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested in learning more about that as well.
Oh, it's a wild ride right now. Like after going to that cargo theft summit, me and Jamie were talking about that last night. I mean, I know a lot. I mean, hopefully I know a lot. Like I talk about all the time, but I know a good amount about all the things, and I've heard all the stories. But there was very eye opening, and then that ride along I did.
Oh, yeah.
My God, like
That was
so, like the volume of that in real life
Yeah.
was like, what?
Getting to
This
talk to
is
the
really
front
real?
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually how it is. Like you just feel like this is like a movie. It's
Right.
wild.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. You
So what
gonna
do you
do another one?
I hope so. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they want me to.
Well,
So
aren't there certain like hot spots of
yeah.
freight fraud and theft and
Yeah,
stuff?
mainly
The
California is like the hot spot, and I'm really good buddies with those guys. Like I love them to death. So, like I met them at another conference. They were speaking, and I mean, I was like, we have to be best friends. And so, and they're great people.
Oh,
Like
cool.
I love them. I love them. I know their whole family's things, and they're great. I love those guys.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking I'll probably go with them again just because I love those guys. But I did meet a couple other officers while I was out there. So it'd be kind of fun just to do like different ride-alongs because like one person I met had like formerly like SWAT and then got into cargo theft. And he was even like, it's not as fun as SWAT. But I'm like, I'm sure it's still pretty fun. Like I was explaining all the ins and outs of like what I know. And he's like, I didn't know it was like that because, they only handle like a certain amount.
Sure.
And, like the CHP, that the C-tip guys, like they handle a lot more investigative. They have to put like the DA cases together and like they got to do a lot of like that part.
Yeah.
But now that we got a whole FBI division, maybe I can get in with the FBI.
Go.
Let's plug FBI. Hello, come, let me go do a ride along.
Or maybe you could
Yeah.
just lie about being it.
I know. Yes, exactly. That would be my career. Yeah, my career lie would be an FBI agent for cargo
You
theft.
could probably do it though.
I could
with
probably
the amount
do
of
it.
knowledge you've amassed.
Yeah.
There's
So
how to chase them
FBI,
down.
hire me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, so what do you do now?
Oh, yeah, I work with the DDC group. So we're a business process management company. We're based in the UK, but we have a pretty deep domain expertise here in the US within the shipping and logistics space, predominantly within LTL. And we work with a handful of premier 3PLs as well, providing back office services, AI-led, technology-focused solutions. Obviously, it's no longer a matter of I have 100 people doing this process in-house today. I want to move it near shore, offshore at a fraction of the cost. You have an expectation that technology has to be infused into those processes. So DDC is in a kind of a rollout of a lot of new solutions that are, changing the face of our company, quite honestly.
Right. I was going to say, I think a lot of companies are having to do that. The ones that had the offshore stuff.
Yeah.
The offshore stuff, I mean, I still think you need humans. Like, I don't think we'll ever replace people 100%. But yeah, I guess your head count would be a lot less with having
Yeah,
AI.
so people say, aren't you just eating your babies? Well, yeah, but that's the way we have to stay alive at this point. Because, I mean, I've seen in the year and a half or so that I've been in this space is we're competing against the AI companies, the agentic solutions. While there's always a human in the loop because there will always be exceptions, especially
in logistics.
Oh
my God. Yeah.
It's just like people right now are rolling out AI and seeing what that workload looks like within their own in-house teams, and that's requiring them to upskill and really weed out the finest employees. Or maybe that gives alternative jobs to people, right? You're no longer doing the mundane routine tasks because the technology is doing that for you, but there's still eyeballs and validation that need to be done to make sure something is, say, client ready or invoice ready or those final steps in a process. So,
or compliance vetting ready that needs to have a human person. Please, people, do not make it all AI. I can't.
AI doesn't have judgment.
No,
yet.
they can't hear all the things. Like it just. Yeah, I'm pretty heavy on that. So.
Oh, good. Well, tell me more.
Well, for me, I think compliance is a thing that, like, if you're getting like lied to or scammed on, like, there's like especially if you've been in that seat for a while, like if you've been in the industry for a while, you can tell over the phone, like someone's giving an answer too fast or too slow, or they're shuffling papers trying to find their MC number. Like, there's stuff like that. Like maybe they can program a little bit of it, but a lot of it is just like, why is this guy taking so long to answer? Like, and the AI may be like, they may be like, oh, hold on like a second, maybe able to trick AI to be like, hold. And the AI is like, oh, we're holding. It's nothing weird. We're just holding. No, it's weird. Like, and I think I talk up to enough AI companies where I'm trying to help them like be able to program so that those who are using it, but I'm like, there's so many variables. Like there's too many exceptions.
It might have a brain, but it doesn't have a gut.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It doesn't have the spidey senses.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because you as like a rep talking to carriers all day long, you get that. Like you hear I mean, I probably took like 100 calls a day. So it's like every call you would take, you would be able to filter like quickly and like turn and burn. And so it's funny now, like last night we were talking about like different sales and whatever. And I was like, I don't love the enterprise sales part of it. If I did, I like it to be a short sale. I think because I was a broker, I'm just like, let's go. And it's difficult for me to slow down and talk all the enterprise and even like shipper sales. That's how it is. Shipper sales are very slowing it down and talking to 1,000 people.
Never takes relationships out of
for sure
equation, no matter which type of sale you're in.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's that thrill of the win. I was asked.
Oh yeah, what a high.
Do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I'm okay with losing, but God, do I love winning. Yeah. That's such a high. Like it's
That's the way I answer too. And then like not long after I was asked that question the first time, a big deal I'd been chasing for a while gave me a no. I was so pissed. I was like, I'm not sure. Maybe I hate to lose more.
I hate losing too.
It's an interesting question, but I think depending on the situation.
For sure.
And then like you were saying, that's what's so gratifying about a little bit more of a transactional sale and a product that, you can do what you're supposed to do. You hand it off to your onboarding team, and then
Yeah.
you go out and get the next one.
If your product is there or what your solution is there, whatever it is, if you know, like, hey, I know what I'm selling is there, I don't have to have a long sales cycle. That's
Yeah.
my thing. Like,
Well, like we were talking about,
Yeah.
having confidence in the delivery of your
Yeah,
product,
I
knowing that your product is
Mhm.
quality.
I know 100% what my product can do, and I will talk about, like, I know as long as you execute it right and you're implementing it in your team right, you're trained everybody right. Yeah, I
Well,
know
you
what it
know
can do.
that your onboarding team, for example, is got your back.
Yeah.
They're going to make good on the commitments you made in the sales cycle,
Right,
right?
exactly.
It's not
Yeah,
going to come back and bite you later.
right. And I think that's with everybody. It's for sure. I know, so it's so
Cool.
fun. Yeah, so we're here for we're going to the Women in Supply Chain conference on whatever day that is, tomorrow.
Tomorrow afternoon,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is just a short little girl trip added on to the front end of it.
Yep.
But I think it kind of sets us up for, like, obviously we'll all be best friends at the conference. So it's like we have
Nice.
buddies
We got
and
a built-in dinner date.
yeah,
Right? Plus, we're going
exactly.
to try to amass some other folks.
Oh, we'll be recruiting some people. You know how we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between the two of us, we can recruit some people. Like, hey, friend, want to
Yeah.
come to dinner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, it's going to be on the beach, so who
Oh,
can
yeah.
complain?
No. My God.
Put our feet in the sand and
Which is what we're going to do next.
kick back.
Yeah. And so, yeah, like I'm sweating so bad. It's so hot out here.
It's hot.
I know. But, like, I've been so pale. So I'm like, burn, baby, burn.
No.
Yeah.
Your beautiful skin.
Well, my face is covered with
Yeah, I know,
sunscreen,
me
but
too.
my body, I'm fine
I
with.
know. I actually didn't bring sunscreen. I didn't have a spare.
Oh,
I didn't have a spare inch in my suitcase just
Oh,
because of
really?
the spectrum of things that
Yeah.
we're doing the next 4 days. So
I know, because we're here for a good bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but it should be fun. I'm excited for the Women's Supply Chain. We'll see how it is. I've never been to this event. Have you?
No, I haven't. It's the first time for me too.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting how it is. I'm hoping it's funny because, like, other women in blah 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 events, they'll, like, I've been seeing online where they're like, oh, there's all males on the panels and not enough females.
Right.
And I
That makes
agree
you
with
wonder.
that. What do you think on that? Like, if they're a male, like, obviously men are, like, we have sons, so, like, men are
Yeah.
just as important. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they're not. But if you're women in, what's your
think that
feels?
I don't think you should exclude the men.
No.
That's not at all. I would not swing the pendulum that far out. But I think you've got to have the right balance. I mean,
Yeah.
women are going to those things because they want to hear from other women who have been successful. And yeah, I mean, we have maybe a male facilitator or some
Yeah.
NC or something like that to kind of keep things flowing. Maybe a little comedic relief.
Right.
I don't know.
Because we can get doom and gloom. No, I'm just kidding.
Also been to women's events where it's all just like so touchy-feely.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, what did I really get out of that?
Well,
Besides some
right.
inspiration, and that's always nice. But
Well, and sometimes I think they say, like, well, the woe me, I'm a woman. And I'm like, no, it's
Right.
actually like I'm amazing because I'm a woman. But
yeah, and I want to hear about the success stories.
I wanna
the
hear
successes
success.
of other people, and kind of feed off of that energy. And men can bring that too. But I just think it would be odd to go to a women's function and
Right.
it'd be predominantly made up of
Yeah, like
men.
one person on the panel. I'm like, just at least 50-50, if anything.
Yeah.
Because I like I mean, obviously guys are like, I'm more friends with guys than I am girls. But yeah, I just think it's if you're women in, I want to hear how they're doing it. And, like, the real talk too. I think a lot of people do a lot of fluff and I can't stand that. Like, let's say what we really are thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's going to be a
For
fun
sure.
event.
Yeah, it should be fun.
I'm so happy you came to the girls' trip, though.
Well, thank you for putting it together.
That's so
I wasn't
fun.
sure I was going to be able to come, just because I had to get creative, right, with
Mhm.
tacking it on to Women in Supply, because that's not normally like a marketing sponsored event for the DDC group.
Yeah.
But I think my team fortunately recognizes that I'm in a relation. I've only been with the company a year or so, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in relationship building mode. So everywhere that you can go
Yeah.
to build relationships and expand your network and plant seeds is a valuable experience. And it's kind of nice to go out last conference of the year.
Yep.
80-degree weather.
I know, because it's been cold. Well, I guess it was cold here too, but it's been cold at home. And we're in Georgia, so
Yeah.
like it's not that cold, but
not compared to Minnesota.
not compared to Minnesota or anywhere else really, because
Yeah. So, I just thank you for putting it all together.
for sure, it's
You've
so
done
fun.
a lot. This
It's
house is so fun.
so fun. We'll have to film us going on that tiki thing tonight too, because that's going to be fun. So everybody needs to make sure they sign up for the next girls trip next year. I don't know when and where we're doing it. I'm debating on if we tack it on to a conference because then work will pay for flights and stuff, or if we just make it where it's just totally separate and whoever can make it can make it. Because I'm like, let's just get away from kids. I don't even want to talk about work. We always end up talking about work. It happens. But it's not like I'm sales pitching anybody.
no.
And like living in a house together is a different,
It is
you know?
different. And that was probably the most intimidating part of
Yeah.
agreeing to come. It's like, well, I know you,
Right.
but I didn't know anybody else who you invited personally.
Right.
You know, I
Right.
mean, we were LinkedIn friends and
Yeah.
whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but we each have our own little space.
It's like
and-
sleepover time. And like it almost reminds me of like in middle school whenever your friend brought like it's like a birthday party sleepover and like they bring their friends and they have all and like you're meeting people and you're like, this is like awkward, but then you become best friends at the end. Yeah. I just almost summer campish, I guess.
It's kind
too.
of summer campish, but
Yeah.
a lot nicer. No bugs. And
No bugs. And we're in nice, beautiful
have a
weather.
decent shower.
Yeah. Right. And we have all these activities behind us. So we'll do other podcasts with the other girls throughout the house. So you guys can check it all out. And yeah,
Thank you for having me.
for sure. Bye, everybody. Ready? And scene.
We're here on Girls Trip 2025.
Yeah. Let's go.
Tell me everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to the episode of Tell Me Everything. I'm your host, Danielle Spinelli. We are on Women in Logistics, not associated with anybody, just our own thing because
Yeah.
we decided
just
that
women in
it's
logistics.
actually not owned by anybody. It's not trademarked. So while it's not trademarked, this is us. This is our girls trip 2025.
2025.
Jennie came up with the idea. She's brilliant.
Well, actually, it was for Women in Logistics Marketing.
Yeah, but I turned it into
Danielle stole it. She's like, I'm planning it. And then she found this amazing house.
amazing house.
That looks like Barbie's dream house.
Thank you. I know. It's amazing. Like I say thank you like I built it. No,
Thank
it's
you
so
for that.
great. Thank you, Airbnb, for presenting us with such a great option. Yeah.
No, this is awesome. We've
I
got
know.
a pool. We've got a playhouse. We've got basketball court,
Basketball court, right? I was shooting hoops
Mini
earlier.
golf.
Mini golf, bowling.
bowling. And then we
Bowling.
sat by the fire last night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you a Girl Scout? This girl, I'm not kidding, like kept the like she stacked the firewood like perfectly in like a
Little
teepee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she like took toilet paper and like because I was like, we're gonna have to go buy a fire starter log, and she's like, no, I got
I
this.
got this.
And
My
she killed
husband
it.
taught me well.
Well,
I'm not a Girl
got a good
Scout. I
husband.
was not a Girl Scout. I think
That's
I did one for
surprising.
maybe like 30 days when I was like 9.
Oh yeah, I was a Girl Scout for a hot minute, and they were like, you have to memorize the Girl Scout pledge.
No,
And I was like, yeah, I'm not memorizing anything. I'm out. Bye. But then my daughter did Girl Scouts, and I was a Girl Scout leader.
oh,
Yeah,
they
I
let
did
you
that.
Read, but you didn't.
But I never
finally memorized. the Girl
Yeah.
Scout.
But I was mainly like women empowerment, blah blah blah. It was like
Blah, blah,
that.
blah.
I know. Like I obviously did a really great job. These girls are really going to go places, but
Hey,
yeah,
I've heard fantastic things about your daughter. I'm sure she is going to go great places.
of course, everybody that I know will go places because they're great.
They know Danielle.
Exactly. It's because of
If you
me.
know Danielle, then you're going to go great places.
That's that should be like my sales strategy. You know, like if you want to go places, you should know me.
We should connect on LinkedIn.
Yeah, follow my Tell Me Everything page and you'll go places.
You're gonna be
Guaranteed.
great. You're gonna be great.
Hashtag guaranteed. Okay. Intro yourself. Tell about your company because I want you to do your plugs.
Well, which one?
All of them. You have
Tell
so
me
many.
everything.
Tell me everything.
Tell me
That's
all
what
of
we
them.
do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the longest standing is Virago Marketing. So we solely serve the trucking and logistics space, providing marketing services, helping with revenue generation, getting that pipeline visibility, understanding where your leads are coming from, tracking them all the way through so that you can make better database decisions in terms on where you're allocating your money
Mhm.
to get more leads and drive more revenue. So marketing is my passion.
I love that.
So it was
It's
just
totally your passion, by the way. It's
I love
wild.
talking about it.
Yeah. She's obsessed. I love
I'm like,
that.
hey, what are you doing? Where are you
Yeah.
seeing success? And like, I feel like we are in a like major point of transition and
Totally.
evolution within marketing and sales. And I'm sure we'll talk
With
about that a little
logistics
bit
for
more.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
everybody talks about like we're usually behind.
But
but,
we're
like,
getting there.
But like, I mean, you see all
getting
these
there.
podcasts, like everybody in transportation has a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks volumes because like content content is still king, but now
Yeah.
there's an evolution in content. And so you used to download these white papers and they're
Right.
like 25 pages long.
Boring. Nobody reads.
Nobody's
Nobody
reading
reads.
those. You can't do that anymore. So even the evolution of written content, the white papers, the blogs, now you're
Mhm.
writing content you used to write for the search engine. Now you're writing for AI because everybody's kind of
Right.
transitioning how they search, like what search engines they use. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
about you, but I'm like, let me get my ChatGPT up
Oh,
because it's more
ChatGPT is
objective.
my
Yeah,
boyfriend.
it's my best friend.
But
Best friend.
I know. Yeah, it's my boyfriend. His name is Jesus, and I love him. But I will say I can notice a difference though when you post online when it's ChatGPT. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they have like the dashes or the emojis in certain spots, or
In an
like it's not
evolving
as
landscape.
effective. I know. So hashtag, not really hashtag, but everybody out there that's making posts that's ChatGPT generated and you don't edit it to make it sound like yourself,
Yeah.
do frown, dislike.
Yeah.
I like it when I use ChatGPT for my posts, but like I handwrite it first.
Starter.
Yeah, I handwrite it. I handwrite mine first. Then I throw it in there and say rewrite.
Like, make it make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, make my thoughts not be ADHD thoughts.
Sure.
And then it makes things make sense. And then I rewrite to make it sound like English. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, oh, ChatGPT, I'll just use that to create my content. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you, bad content performs bad.
Yeah.
Like if it's good, like, even though you use ChatGPT to get you started, it's
Right.
still authentic content when you edit it and make it in your voice
Right.
and make it communicate the message that you intended to, not just ChatGPT. Let's talk about the weather. Write a
Right.
post and just post it. Like, there's no value in that. There's no value. It's
I
just more
know.
noise.
Have you seen that TikTok where they're like and maybe I'll throw this on here too, but that TikTok where they're like at the grocery store or the gas station, they're like, do you want to buy this? And they're like, hey, ChatGPT, do I want to buy this? It's like they use it for everything. I'm throwing this in there because it's got to come part of it, but it's so funny.
A cashier has asked me how it's going. How do I respond? Keep it short and light. Try something like, good, and you?
He said, good, and you. What do I say to that?
Perhaps offer to assist him with something like,
Are you looking for something I can help with?
What items am I collecting?
the items you should collect depend on your needs.
What are my needs?
Needs can vary, but the most common are health, food, shelter, and companionship.
Do you have companionship?
What aisle is companionship in?
Companionship is never in the same aisle twice. Some days it's with the bread, soft and warm. If you can't find it, ask the person stocking the shelves. Half the time, they're looking for it too.
So there's this
People are
new
so dependent.
app that, well, everybody's getting dependent on apps because they're
Yeah.
getting so smart. And it's like
For sure.
having a doctor or a nutritionist or somebody like right in your pocket. And
Mhm.
that's like the value, right? So goody.ai, I don't know if it's a website, but it's an app.
Okay.
And so for women that are trying to select good, clean food at the store, you can scan it and it'll
Ooh.
tell you because they're like, oh, do you read the ingredients? I'm like, I don't know what I
Never.
want in there versus don't want in there. Like, I know if I can't pronounce it, I don't want it, but everything has that. Like,
Yeah.
how do I find what's cleaner? Like,
You want to know something bad? I'm going to admit that whenever I watch, like, I'll see like a Netflix series that's like, oh, for instance, like McDonald's is bad. I'm like, I don't want to know what I'm going to eat that's bad. Like,
you're like, I'm going to eat it if I want it.
like sometimes, like sometimes you're desperate. You got to get McDonald's. Like, and sometimes your kids are like demanding McDonald's. You're like, I'm starving. I'm not going anywhere else.
You can ask my kids. I told my kids long time ago that all the
No
McDonald's burned down. They
Oh,
all burned down.
wow.
Sorry, there's no McDonald's.
This McDonald's that's right here that you're looking at is fake news.
It's fake news.
It's
That's
fake
not
news,
real.
everybody. Yeah.
They all burned down. There's nothing inside.
I know.
Sorry.
I'm bad though, because I'm like, I just don't want to know. Like, I try to make healthy choices, but like, I don't want to know the bad. Like, just make
See,
it
I
be
think
okay.
it would be easier to make healthier choices if I knew, like, McDonald's is bad.
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's
That's a
no,
bad
like, getting
example,
around that.
but yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
just bad. But it, like, even I'm like talking to my nutritionist and I'm like, oh, I got protein granola to go on my yogurt, and they're like, bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I thought I was getting
Right,
protein. Like,
right.
I thought I want protein.
Right.
And they're like, nope, that's protein. Isoaluminum.
I know. It's
And they're
like, what
"That's
is this
bad."
brainwashing?
And I'm like,
It's
this is too hard to shop healthy.
so hard.
We got so off topic.
I know we did. Okay, keep talking about okay. So she has Virgo. I'm saying
Virago.
Virago.
Virago
That's a zodiac sign. That's incorrect.
Not even a Virgo. No.
Okay, and then you have freight movement. Talk about that.
Freight movement is actually why I'm here at Women in Supply Chain. We submitted a submission for I think it's like Trailblazers for freight movement, and so I'm getting an award for that. But
That's cool. What? Hold on a minute. I didn't know you were getting an award.
yeah, but it's like so are 300 other women.
It's
Which is
still
fine.
cool. I think it's cool. I want an award. That's cool.
You got an award at BC.
I did get an award.
I was there to record
I know
the whole
you.
thing.
You did record
did.
my whole thing. You're the only one that recorded everything. So
Well, I
thank
sat
you for
next
that.
to you. You were like, "Here you go."
I know, but also I thought other people would be like, "Oh my god, I'll send this to Danielle." No, only Jenny.
Yeah,
So
I
thank
had
you for that.
I had you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Got my baked potato.
Freight Movement is like local geographic industry events. So no knock to the big shows. I love the big shows.
Me too.
Some of them are my absolute favorite, like Manifest. But then there are some that like and you see it kind of across the board, except for some of the bigger players, like this 30% decline in attendance year over year. And that's just because people don't have the budgets to go, they don't have the titles to go, they don't have the time to go.
Yeah.
So we're seeing
honestly,
that decline.
most mid-market like brokers, carriers, they don't see the value in it, as I would say. And so I think your guys' freight movement events is like, hey, it's free. Show up if you're in the market.
It's
if you're
all
in the
about
area.
making the industry more accessible.
Right.
So like marketing
Love that.
101 is meet your prospects where they are. So we work with sponsors and we're like, hey, where would you like to have an event? And we go pop up an event and invite everybody from the industry, because then there's value for everybody when you invite everybody.
Yeah.
Like if you have a event where you're like, oh, I'm going to invite all my prospects and that's it. And I'm going to have my sales team and my prospects.
But why would they go?
Like, nobody wants to be sold to.
Right. Why would they go? You're right. Like, it's like, they need value as well to go.
That's why we invite everyone.
Right.
You can meet carriers, you can meet brokers, tech providers, and
I've seen shippers there too. I mean, there's
shippers.
It's like you never know who you're going to get. It's in the logistics supply chain that's there. Yeah. That's what I love. Yeah.
And it's just like making connections, introducing yourself, building relationships. It's not really focused on sales. Like that is not our goal.
No, it's about being best friends with people. Yeah.
Yeah. Make best friends.
Make best friends. That's what your motto should be, is freight movement. Make best friends. Yeah. Let me say that at the same time.
Perfect.
But yeah, I definitely feel like, so for me in sales, that's when those are my favorite customers. And it's almost like not even a sales process. It's like, hey, I'm learning all your problems. And sometimes I'm not the best solution. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, it's so-and-so's better. You should talk to them. But sometimes it's like, yeah, we would totally make sense. Or like, you actually know so much knowledge, you can enhance my product. We can help each other.
Yeah.
And so that's a relationship. And then those are my favorite customers.
So you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, where we're seeing this transition from the brand voice to the individual voices. Yeah. And so it's like people like yourself who start a podcast and you have your own personal brand. Yeah. And it's almost stronger than the company, because the brand itself is not necessarily making and building these relationships. Right. It's the people. And so I think like there's a huge opportunity for people like you to kind of step up in this space right now. And I think freight movement creates that atmosphere for people to do that. You go to the larger shows, you know more people. Right. Like that's kind of the part of, freight movement. I have this local show. We bring in like 50 to 100 people. And then if I hope the shows come back on. I don't know what that's
I hope so. I know. I don't know.
Because I feel like they're fading.
They're fading.
Some of them are definitely fading.
Totally fading. Some won't go.
Yeah. They're just.
But I think that's because people miss. I think prior to 2020, everybody's going to big shows. Everybody. 2020 happened, a huge decline. Yeah. Obviously, nobody was traveling.
Well, the shows were just canceled in general.
Yeah, they were canceling and whatever. And then once it came back, it was almost like, I can do all this stuff remotely. What's my value? Yeah. I can do Zoom. I can do Teams, whatever. Why would I spend all the extra money when I can technically meet all these people on LinkedIn or whatever? And
not only that, costs themselves have inflated.
Right.
To attend,
so
to
much
sponsor.
More.
Like,
oh my God, sponsorships are insanity.
20,000 to 50,000.
It's like, sponsorships are stupid. It's like, I understand it costs money to operate the show, but come on. Like you are padding your pocket. That should be your side hustle, not your day job.
Right.
But that's
right.
me.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. It's hard for companies right now to have the budgets to go to these
Yeah.
events. Like the value's not there. A lot of them aren't considering new technology.
Right.
Right. Like it's just not in their cards right now. It's like, let's keep the doors open.
Right.
But where I do think there's value in the events is just building the relationships, making
Totally.
the connections. You never know who knows who,
knows
and
who.
can introduce you to someone. You should always go in with the goal of providing value, not necessarily getting value.
Right. I totally agree with that's like the perfect way to saying that, because sometimes it's where, let's say like as a broker, it's you talk to other brokers and sometimes it's like industry knowledge we can share back and forth. Like from my standpoint, compliance. Like sometimes it's like, oh, I had this situation happen with a theft, or I had this situation happen, and you would have never talked about that in virtually, because it's like on paper, it's writing, and you can blast that or whatever. But then it's like in person, I can talk about all these things, and so it just like opens up doors on that. But then also like you never know. Sometimes it's where you specialize in like a niche market, like. I know like one of my like favorite customers, they specialize in overdimensional. It's hard to do overdimensional. Most people are van or reefer. That's like their thing. So sometimes they've developed relationships with people where it's like, hey, whenever you have those customers that have overdimensional, instead of saying no and that not happening, you say yes, and then you co-broker that to me. Yeah, so it's like double brokering, but it's like legit. But you have a contract in place.
Well, now you're supporting double brokering.
I'm not supporting double brokering. There's a contract in place that makes sense. It's a business transaction. So there's a way to do it, but that's based on relationships. So it's like not only is it to find tech, and I definitely think you should be adding one new tech a year, maybe getting rid of one of your old ones or something, but you should be enhancing your business once a year.
At least evaluating
once a year, 1,000,000,000%. So like I love TIA for that. I love Manifest for that. Like the bigger ones where it's like tech focused, but then I love the ones that are like relationship based. And then Freight Movement's just such like I don't know, it's like a let's hang out. Like let's
get to know each other. Like Atlanta, we went to like
oh
the
my
taco
God.
bar afterwards.
So
it was
fun.
So much fun. And there was like, I don't know, maybe 30 of us at that table, and just having tacos with people I barely knew, but like, getting to know them. That was so cool, because I just made 30 new best friends.
I know. And like Jan, she's part of the Atlanta group because we have like a little networking group in Atlanta where every month it's not sponsored by anybody. It's not even like an event. It's just like, hey, we're all meeting. Whoever can make it make it great. So I invited that whole group to the Atlanta one. A lot of them came. And there's so many, let's just say Atlanta. There's so many people in Atlanta that don't get their companies to pay for them to go somewhere. So it's like, but I want to evolve my professional career. Right. How do I do that? That's by meeting people with Freight Movement.
Yeah, 100%. And so, like I said, it's all about making the industry accessible, because like you said, companies don't pay for it. You don't have the budgets. You don't have
You're not in the right position. Right.
Yeah, like there's so many things working against you, and it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I think, you know, we look to partner with brands that understand that it is these conversations that drive opportunity and drive the industry forward. And it's making those connections. And, you know, I always tell this story, but I was working with a company that was like, oh, we have this solution for LTL. And I was like, okay, cool. Are you going after like the top 25 fleets that move 98% of LTL?
Right.
No. And I was like, you're going after the 800 fleets that move
the
2%?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Like, do you know your audience?
Yeah.
But that's my thing, is like, do you know your audience? Like, they really didn't know how big their TAM was, which is their total addressable market. They really didn't understand who they were and what their pain points were. They just felt like they had a solution that applied to that, but they really didn't know their market. And to me, that means you need to have more conversations.
For sure.
And that's like, that was one of my initial drivers for Freight Movement, is just like, do you really know your market?
Right.
And like, when you bring everybody to the table, you get so many different perspectives, and people are so willing to have conversations, but sometimes you feel like, oh, that's like a CEO. How do I talk to them? How do I get in the same room with them? And it's like, going to Freight Movement, we're not wearing like name tags with companies.
Nobody knows the
titles.
position. Right.
It's just like, hey, I'm Jen. Who are you?
Yeah. Well, and I love that too, because from me working in sales for so long, I've talked to CEOs, huge enterprise companies, and they're just people. We're
And
all
people are just people. Yeah.
So it's like everybody wants to be
But there
treated like
is a mental
person.
block. There is
There
a mental
totally
block
is.
because you're like, oh, like
And
I
you
need
treat
to
them
talk to
different,
this
but they don't
decision
want to be
maker.
treated differently. You know what I mean?
No.
Most of the time, sometimes you get the like really stuck up CEOs that like, oh, respect my title. But most of the time it's like, no, I'm just a person that got
Those
promoted
aren't the
and I don't even know
CEOs
why
coming
I'm
to Frame
here.
Movement.
Yeah. Right.
They're not coming to Frame Movement
No.
because they, you know,
They're going to who knows where, but yeah, they're not
it's like
around.
snooty dinner.
Yeah. They're going golfing usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love Freight Movement. And then Wilma, you invited me to Wilma, and I'm not even in marketing, by the way, but she invited
Doesn't
me.
matter.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, our
Most of
conversations
them are marketing
are
people.
yeah, around marketing, and the
Mhm.
people that do attend those conversations are mostly marketing. But when you really think about like revenue marketing, that means you're bringing in your account managers, your sales, your customer
Mhm.
success, things like that, because it's all about driving revenue. And revenue is not just in new leads; it's
Right.
in existing customers and
For
and
sure.
things like that.
Even retention.
And we talk about all that,
Right.
and like. So like you do partners, right?
Yep.
So we're like partners is definitely part of that, right?
Huge
And like
stream of
partner
revenue.
marketing,
Yeah.
partner marketing is huge because if you are going to, well, one, you should integrate as a tech provider in the
%.
space. You should integrate and play nice, even with your competitors,
Totally play
because
nice.
everybody wants to bolt on the best solutions for them.
Yep.
And I think that you need to make it easy to do so.
Yeah.
And communicate that you are part of that ecosystem and you do play nice. And I think that's huge because
Huge.
companies might be dead set on having this solution and they're looking for something else that does something else, but you've got to integrate and pass that data
Right.
or whatever the case may be. But
Well, and like in logistics, it's interesting because everybody has most people have their niche. So it's
Yeah.
like one solution does not fit all.
well, there's a lot of companies that have end-to-end solutions, but
It doesn't
companies
fit.
don't want
It's not cookie
that.
cutter.
They
No.
want to pick
And
what is
choose.
going to work best for them.
You're right.
And plug in, it could be, multiple competitors. But and I really think that's one of our biggest challenges in this industry is that some of the brands are trying to monopolize and have all the
For sure.
solutions. It's like, just do what you do really well.
Yeah.
Just do that and plug in and play nice with everyone else. And I think you'll be in a better position instead of trying to. I mean, I've worked with brands that don't even integrate and play nice with themselves.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. There's a lot of people like that.
And it's
A
like,
lot.
maybe you should have more solutions if you can't even integrate and play nice with yourself.
I agree. And so like whenever we got acquired by Descartes, that was like one of the first questions I asked. Like, well, how do you play with others? Because I was part of partnerships prior to acquisition.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm really close friends with all these other TMS partners. I know you guys have a TMS, but like I'm not ending that relationship because not even just leads, but like my customers love whatever TMS platform.
And yeah.
And they're not getting out of that team.
Right.
That's like divorcing getting out of a
That's
TMS.
like getting a heart surgery.
Oh my God. You're totally revamping yourself when you change your TMS.
Yeah.
It's so rare for that to happen. And so it's like, that's not going to happen. So let's play nice with our TMS partners. We're not going to poach. We're not going to do this. Like that was the first question I asked when we got acquired. I'm like, do you guys operate like this? They're like, no, we do not. I'm like, okay, I'll stay on board. But if you at all if they were to give me any inkling of like, no, we play nice with others, but nope, bye-bye. Cause I respect partnerships in that way where it's like, I'm friends with everybody. You're like this too. Like I love everybody. Let's
love
all
everybody.
kumbaya. All my even my competitors, like I love them. And so it just some solutions are better for other people than others. So
Yeah.
we talk
and
about that a
I
lot.
think you have to think of what is in the best interest of your customer.
Yes.
And that is being an authentic partner.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're like, oh, it's better for my pockets that you use my solution, but I know you're going to
But you
run
may
into
cancel in
these
6
issues.
months later because you're going to have issues.
Yeah,
right.
you're just doing a disservice. I
Yeah.
think it's better to be a good partner and communicate like, hey, I've seen this both sides. I think what you have right now is working really well for you and you shouldn't change that.
Right.
But we do bolt on to that and can expand
extend
your
you
offering
from here.
to do
Right.
these things. Yeah.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. So like Wilma, it's been interesting being a part of that because it's like once a month that you do it, right? Yeah. Once a month. And so, and like I said, I'm not in marketing, but for my individual brand, there's marketing that I do individually, my podcast. I've tried to, I don't, even like as a sales rep, I've tried to make it where it's like I have my own branding and my own whatever, which is marketing.
Yeah.
And so it's been cool because the whole conversation in that is, especially if you are in marketing, those like specialists and all the things, they'll be like, yeah, this conference worked well for me here. I got success in doing this like some people will be like, oh, that conference sucks. They're like, well, actually we did this differently and that's why we were successful. It's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Or like almost every meeting is like, hey, what campaigns have you guys done recently that's been successful?
Right.
And
yeah,
that's like
Jesse's favorite question.
I know. And so it's interesting because most people don't talk about that. Like that isn't told across the industry. And
I
it's
think
like
it's
us
so
women
awesome
talking
because
about
those
it.
ladies, they get on there and they'll share, they'll ask the questions. We dive into conversations, discussions. We also do Wilma Lives where we talk to one individual lady and kind of just talk about one topic and share it with everyone. But I just love, and there's competitors in there. Like,
totally.
there's
I have my
competitors in
direct competitors in there. Yeah.
I
And
know.
I'm like, and I love her. So
Right?
it's great.
And that, that's kind of how I feel about the industry is like, we might work with competitors, but everybody's kind of in a different space and sense of like, what are your unique values? What are you trying to accomplish? You don't have the same strategy as somebody else.
Yeah.
But I do love how the ladies are like, oh yeah, this is where I'm seeing success, or they'll even pop up their dashboard and say, hey, we did this, or this is the campaign we ran, or, we're working with so-and-so who did this and that was great.
Yeah.
And I love the brain sharing. Like it's just insight. Like you can make whatever judgments or decisions you want based on that. But like I had one lady reach out to me and she's like, hey, how does speaking opportunities work now? Like when do you pitch? And I'm
how do you
like,
get there?
yeah, well, it's like pay to play now.
Yeah, it's very pay to play. It's sad.
Unless
like I have to beg
somebody on a committee. So
yeah,
but that's our next conversation. We're going to be talking about that. And I think it's great because there's been evolution.
Totally.
It used to be that you would write an abstract and send it in and a committee would
Not
meet
like that
and
anymore.
vote on it. And that is not the case anymore.
But I think that goes back to relationships too, because sometimes it's who you know. Like when
It's
they're in a committee, when you're in a committee and you can dictate who goes on whatever. Like even like BCS, we were like Descartes was part of, they sponsored the technology track. So I was involved in picking the speakers. And it's like, who do I know that actually knows what they're talking about?
Yeah.
And that's just because I relationship wise know them and I know all their insights on this and that. But I would have, if you would have submitted a form to me, I'd be like, do you really know? Because I don't know. So there's like a
side pal.
yeah. But also like I get asked like, why were you not speaking at this event or that event? Or why were you not part of that? And I'm like, I wasn't invited. Yeah, and I would have probably had to pay a shit ton of money.
Right.
Excuse my French. I will bleep that one out.
Bleep.
But I have like so much money to be a part of that. And I don't believe in pay to play. Me personally.
You know what? One of the recent conferences this past year, we were exploring like a speaking opportunity and they wrote back and the speaking stage was on the main like expo floor during expo hours.
Interesting.
And you're paying $3,000 for the stage.
Wow. Like, most of the time it's like $30,000, by the way. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much traffic or like how many people can sit down and actually hear you on the expo floor?
Yeah.
Like I would never.
An expo floor should be for exploring options. That's what
I call the expo floor shark infested waters. Nobody's going down.
Oh, it's a mall kiosk. That's why I like those type of things because I do get a decent amount of business that way, but I don't get like the real customers when they come into your booth. I like the real ones when it's like during network hours where they're till 3 a.m. talking. I know your kids' names. Those are my those are my boys.
Yeah. See, we were talking about this earlier. It's like not just revenue, but relationships drive revenue and consistent revenue. Because if you build a relationship and your product can do what it says it can do, then you'll have a long-standing relationship where if you're focused on just the sell, then and your product can't do anything and you haven't built a relationship and you're just like, I sell it, I close it, I pass it off and bye. And then when you have product issues, it's not picking up the phone and say like, hey, Danielle,
and that gets out.
I thought this was gonna, our industry, word of mouth. If your product doesn't work,
Bye-bye.
Don't worry about branding.
You're gone. Yeah.
Don't worry about branding.
I
You
give
need
it a
to-
year and you're gone. You're fleeing to Mexico because your investors are collecting money.
Oh, they're
for
gonna
sure.
shut you down.
Yeah.
Shut you down.
Okay, two things I want to talk about. One thing is it's kind of controversial, but I wanted to put this on LinkedIn a while ago, but I'm like, I don't want my partners not to like me. And here's my theory, and you don't even have to comment. I'm just going to say it. My theory is whenever people get venture capital and they post like venture capital this, like they're like blowing up, like we have like $100 million on venture capital.
Mm-hmm.
Me as a consumer, I'm like, wow, I don't want to buy your product because then that means you are controlled with how you have to do things. So it's surprising to me, and this is why I wanted to ask this is marketing wise,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like that personally, I don't feel like that's a good marketing strategy. I think if you were to come across like, hey, I was able to, I guess like V1, V2 is like or venture capital 1, venture capital 2, like that, those are like getting off the ground. That's a little different. But when you're in like
Your
3,
seeds.
4, and you have all these different investors, your pricing for your customers have to go up because you got to pay your investors. And you have to deliver so much, you have to spend so much on marketing. Like it's not like you're dictated on what you spend. So I think it's interesting when people post that because I'm like, you're not in the product. This isn't always, this is kind of generalized, but you're not always in the product doing the hard work, making the product great so that then you have customer referrals. So my marketing thing is if you do have investors, shut your mouth. But that's me. What's your take?
Investors shut your mouth?
Don't tell everybody, oh, I have a ton of investors in this product. Just say that your product is amazing and talk about your product. Don't be saying like, oh, I have the answer to all these people. What's your take?
So I have a few.
Not to put you on the spot, but
no, I'm good.
Okay.
I have a few kind of recent scenarios in my mind that I was thinking of that while you were talking, and my initial thought is when you do get money, you do want to look like you got money.
Right.
This is something that I was told by, and I
But
work
why?
with a few VCs because it's big to get an investment. Like it is a big thing. There's companies saying, I believe in this solution.
Okay.
There's a real market for it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put my money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a big deal, especially to get a large chunk of money. Not only that, when the CEO or founder is going in to get this money, they're saying what they're doing, what the plan is for the money. And that's why they're asking for that money and why they're giving them that money.
Yeah.
So, many times it's on product, which I think is huge because if you got a lot of money and you're focused on product,
right
now I'm like, oh, they're focused on their product, right? Other times I think sales and marketing are the other bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of founders will start a company with no marketing because that's not their focus.
Right.
But then when they get investors, they're like, well, now you need to make money.
Right.
We think you have something, but now you need to make money. So you need to get marketing and sales going.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel like sometimes that could be handled in a better way in terms of how they allocate the money. I do feel I've seen some of the stuff go, here, you've got money, and it go, woo, and then the money's gone.
They're gone.
And I've talked to numerous founders who've had that kind of scenario because like they're working so hard to get this investment in their idea. And like I'm in this boat myself, which is why I'm kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. But and I'll talk about that in a second. But so these founders, they come up with this idea and they have this concept and they get this like MVP, working. And they're like, we need somebody to come in and actually build the product, bring it to life or make it more efficient, make it more effective. And then, we need sales.
Yeah.
So then these investors, which I don't know if you've ever seen a pitch deck, but that shit is serious.
Yeah.
Beep. That stuff is serious. Like you got to talk about what is the opportunity in the market? Who's your TAM? How are they going to get their money back? How is your solution solving the industry problem? Like all these different things.
But sometimes that's just a good sales pitch. Devil's advocate over here.
Okay,
sometimes you're a good seller and you can make things look really pretty on paper.
Sure, but it's got to be legit because these investors aren't just giving their money.
Yeah,
You
they
get
check
to keep
things.
it. Yeah. Like you're required to, make that money back,
Right.
or you're going to lose everything that you've
Right.
built. So, I do think like the founders work tremendously hard to bring solutions to market, and it's necessary to have the investors. If founders don't have investors, that means they're bootstrapping, and it is that much harder. Even though you don't have somebody to answer to, it is really hard. You don't have like that advising. You don't have those connections to people
Interesting.
who are like, oh, we already work with Walmart and so, and I'm going to introduce you to them and introduce you to them. And they like the investors, VCs really help make things come together.
Yeah.
So there's tremendous value in having their advisement and having their networks and connections.
So marketing wise though, do you feel like it's a smart move to like say post this is my investor?
To say who your investor is, like I don't know who
Or
you're
maybe not
talking
even
about.
who. Maybe not who, but like, hey, I got a bunch of investors. Do you feel like marketing wise to a consumer, like a consumer cares? I don't feel like a
Like a
consumer
consumer
cares.
cares?
No.
Like a consumer, like a B2C?
Like if I'm buying software or I'm buying
as an
whatever
individual or
as a company. Do
So
you think
I don't-
I would care? No, I don't
No,
think so.
I don't think you care who the investors are or how many investors
or
there
if there
are,
is any.
but you might care about how much was invested.
Okay.
And
See that.
the reason why the how much is invested and why that's so big and important is because like those are big flashy numbers. If you get $12 million invested in you, or however many $1 million, that's big.
Yeah.
That means that there are people rallying behind you and putting a lot of money and effort into what you have.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, because they believe in you.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it if they don't believe in you.
See that. I
So
like that.
for me, it's like I would shout to the world if somebody gave me $12 million. I'm
Yeah.
sure you'd do the same.
I
They
don't
might not
know.
care
I think
who.
I would be quiet about it personally. But that's just me. I think I would be like, I want that mentality of bootstraps. But maybe that's just like
Well,
the
if you want the
bootstrap
mentality
mentality.
of bootstraps, then you don't want investors.
Right. No, I don't want investors. That's
So
what
then
my
the
thing
question
is.
is like, do you want investors or not investors? Like if you have investors, sharing good news is saying I've got all these investors
Right.
and they're committed to supporting me and building this, and that's huge from a
Mhm.
media standpoint, PR standpoint. But if you are going to bootstrap, you probably don't have money for PR.
Yeah.
You don't have money to do all these
True.
things.
True. No, definitely marketing wise, you don't have money to do that because
You
you're
don't.
putting money
Marketing
into
goes
the
to the
development.
back.
Right.
Goes to the back, and really, I think
And that's where
somebody
your
in our
product dies.
industry bootstrapping is going to leverage their connections to say,
Mhm.
"Hey, will you run this for me?" Like a friend, like let's say, like here's a broker, and I have this TMS that I created, and like, will
Right.
you be my champion and like test
Totally.
run it, and help build, like give me the feedback to make it better and stuff like that. Which I like to say we don't need any more TMSs.
I know. I know.
I don't think we
Oh
need
my
any more.
God. Please no.
If it
There's
doesn't
so
work
many.
now, then it's never gonna work.
Unless if you build your own for your company because you have something crazy, but there's no way there's nothing else out there. There's no way. There's so many.
The TMS is not innovative.
No.
It's all the bolt-ons and stuff like that makes it better. So I don't know why.
I will say
need so
there's like
many.
probably 4 off the top of my head that I'm like, yeah, they're very innovative and they do different things. And you really don't need bolt-ons because they do the things,
Mhm.
but that's so rare.
Yeah. Well, there's
so many.
I don't
It's
even
like
know
4.
how many.
I
I
think
don't know.
we're integrated with like 35. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's insane.
Need all
Okay.
those for.
Another thing we talked about earlier today that I wanted to bring up is you asked the question and you should just kind of rephrase it for 2026.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm working on like a slide deck for my clients, just kind of talk about, hey, we're going into 2026. What are people doing from, marketing sales perspective? What do you need to be thinking of? Because it was probably, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, and like, we're doing white papers.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing white papers.
We are not
So
doing white
we are
papers.
not doing white papers. And so like I was asking you, like, hey, were you seeing success, or like what are some creative things that people are doing? And I really think like marketing and sales. Well, one, we talked about like personal brand overseeing like the brand or
the product,
the product
big,
brand,
the
right?
big brand. Yeah.
Like you don't make relationships and have chats with brands. You make
Right.
relationships and have chats with people that work at the companies. So like we're seeing a lot of that. And like I tell people all the time, I'm like, be like Danielle. I'm like, if you want to do better,
Oh
be
my
like
God.
Danielle.
I swear I didn't pay her to say this.
Well, I mean, I'm like, you need a salesperson. You need a salesperson like Danielle. Because if you're
I
going to get
agree,
a
though.
salesperson that's going to sit at home and cold call,
It's not going to work.
that's not
I
good. Like, they're not
promise
out
you
there
it's not
building
gonna work.
relationships. And it's
I-
interruptive. It's like disruptive, I guess is the right word. And like,
Yeah,
nobody wants to be sold to.
I know.
But if you're going to like put somebody out there to make relationships and
I'm
have
like-
good conversations
Right.
and see at the shows, and it's
You need
not
to
even
stand
like,
out.
yeah, people look for Danielle. People look for, certain people. I don't want to call them all out, but there are some people in the industry where it's like they're just sought. Like you notice them,
Mm-hmm.
you reach out to them, you connect with them, you refer people to them because they're good people.
Right. You know them.
So be a good person and
Be a good person.
present.
I think another thing that is interesting to think about for 2026 is no matter what your age group is, you're either on Facebook scrolls, you're on Instagram reels, you're on
Mhm.
TikTok, it's that 10-second video.
We have no attention span. Welcome to 2026.
Welcome to 2026. Zero. That it should be marketing. That's why
None.
white paper. I'm not reading.
Not reading anything.
I hated reading in school, and I'm not freaking reading now.
But we're not stopping creating content, but we do
Yeah.
have to make sure that we're creating good content.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are switching their search engines, moving to ChatGPT,
Yeah.
moving to Gemini, moving to DeepSeek, whatever.
Yeah.
Grok. And so you need to optimize the content on your website for that. So even though you're like, who reads this blog? You write your blog with context in
Mhm.
mind, answering questions.
So
that
SEO.
when you ask ChatGPT, you're like, what's the best TMS or whatever you ask, right? It's going to pull from websites with high authority and high authority links back to your website. A lot of that is in the
Mhm.
media too. Like when you think about how PR plays into your SEO strategy,
Right. It
those
totally is hand in hand.
websites link back to your website and they
Right.
all have high domain authorities.
Right.
So like PR is not going away.
No.
Because people are like, nobody's reading magazines. No.
And that's why I think as
But
an
it's
individual salesperson, okay, this is the best advice I've ever had in my whole life. I was listening to a podcast. I can't even remember who it was, and I felt really bad, but it wasn't logistics related. It was about sales. And they were like, put in ChatGPT, tell me how to sell to, and put your salesperson, your name.
Okay.
And then in ChatGPT, for me specifically, and I'll show it on here, I literally had like a scrolling list of like, here's recent things that she said. Here's this is what she's posted about. This is what, if you talk about this, she may get upset about. Like this whole ChatGPT had this whole profile for me. Very, very, very interesting.
And all you put in was how do I sell to? And then
how do I sell to Danielle Spinelli? And if you're wanting personal brand presence or brand presence, period, you should be able to type in ChatGPT, how do I sell to blah, blah brand? If you are not recognized by ChatGPT, you are not recognized online.
Ooh.
That's what I think. That's like, I mean, obviously there's Google, but you pay to play on Google too.
Yeah,
so
the first
ChatGPT,
2
we're not using
pages of
that.
Google are ads.
Right. But that's why people honestly are probably converting to ChatGPT because you're sick of seeing the same people
It's
over
more
and over again.
objective. There's no ads. Marketing has not got a hold of it yet.
Thank God. I hope that doesn't ever change. Yeah, it will, but I hope not. But that's what I think as a so we talked about this too. Like as a I think marketing and sales goes hand in hand, like your sales team, and you need to be kind of bringing that culture of marketing into your sales team, teaching your sales team how to market themselves, this is just based on personal experience, by the way. But myself personally, I have learned how to market myself where, yes, I'm part of a brand, but I'm known as whatever. And it's just my genuine self coming out. And luckily, for some reason, people like me. I don't know why, but thank God.
Because you're Danielle Spinelli. If you're not,
Thank you,
if you don't know her, you're not going to be successful.
Oh my God, keep talking. I'll give you more money for this.
Oh my
She's a paid sponsor. I'm just kidding. But no, I think it is a knowing how to present yourself in a certain way because people buy from people. They want to buy from people. They don't want to do like the Amazon shopping cart thing is kind of out the window.
It's transactional.
We're back to, I think we are back to buying from people in a way because we've gotten so like, I don't know, numb from the Amazon shopping cart or the whatever. Like we're just, it's like, oh man, we're just buying this because it's online. I think everybody craves that person.
So and this kind of
Personally.
ties back to like the freight movement is people crave human connection. So I am not going to quit buying on Amazon because
Duh, nobody is. We know.
that's where I can get what
Jeff
I want
Bezos,
shipped to my house the next
Mhm.
day. So I mean that's very transactional, but I think people crave human connection and conversation. And like that's why we did this girls trip.
Right.
Because like we want to connect.
Yeah.
Right. And so many times people are still working remote.
Yeah.
Like they have not gone back to the office. They're not meeting
Thank God.
any new
I
people.
love remote, but I miss people.
That's why I like to go to the shows and stuff
too.
to see people.
Me too.
Otherwise, I'm not meeting anybody.
Otherwise,
new
I'm like
in my
freaking
living room.
fiending. Yeah, it's bad. I have such a problem. I have to meet new people, and if I don't, I'm like I'm going to the bar and just sitting at the bar meeting new people. It's so bad. I am so bad at my
Have to meet
personality
new
wise.
people.
I have to. It's wild. But I think even Amazon, they have those brand ambassadors that promote like on TikTok where they're trying on the clothes and
That
then they
still
tag
feels
to their
very
thing.
transactional to me. Like I don't.
But
feel
it's a
that-
personal connection that you're like, oh, that person tried that and it looks good on them, and maybe it'll look good on me.
Yeah. Well,
It's still a
I think
personal
for
thing.
some people, yeah, no,
That's all I buy.
influencer marketing, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the actually it's not influencer, there's a different word for it. It starts with an A.
Yeah. I have no idea. I'm not in marketing. I don't
Anyways, and the whole point of that is like they get on, they do these like shows, like get ready with me, look at my new makeup, here it is, let me show it, and all that stuff. And like people are like, oh yeah, like they can connect with that person. And I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me, the buying is still very transactional. I would love to be in person talking to
Mhm.
people versus watching. And honestly, I want to get a dumb phone.
A what?
A dumb phone.
What does that mean?
A phone that doesn't do shit.
Okay.
It's just a phone.
Okay. Like
I
a flip phone.
legit want to go back.
I think a
in
lot of people are like
technology.
that. That's why they want that people.
Yeah.
They want the people connection where you're like on the phone talking to them and not like you don't know who you're going to pick up. Like there's no caller ID and you're answering the
Well,
phone.
now
and
you
you're
don't
like,
even know if you're talking to a real person.
No,
It
I
sounds
know.
just-
The AI stuff is just.
I'm gonna start calling some of the AI things and just have a conversation with them.
It's
Really
going to be,
sorry.
I did an AI panel at BCS actually recently, and it was very interesting, the questions that we got, because it's like, so once AI talks to AI, how are they even negotiating? They're just grabbing the bottom line. And eventually it's going to be like, boom, bottom line, done, call done.
One thing that I don't think people are considering with AI right now, because everybody's just diving into it,
Mm-hmm.
hallucination. Have you heard
Okay.
of that?
No, tell me.
AI hallucination is when AI doesn't actually know and it just starts hallucinating.
Okay. I've
And this
heard
is
of
a very
this.
real thing.
Yeah, I've actually heard
Because
of
it
this
just
with
starts making
ChatGPT.
shit up, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, is that real?" No.
Mhm.
And like you'll be like, "Hey, where's the citations for this?" And it'll make a fucking web beep beep.
Beep websites. I think I have a beep button too I could press, but
I know you got all this
I
cool
know.
technology. I haven't seen you press
Look at
any of
my
those
cute
buttons.
kink cord. It's so cute. I love it. As I'm like caressing.
Yeah, but so with the hallucinations, I think you got to be careful of that, because even in the citations, you're like, "Hey, cite it." It'll like, "Oh, here's the website."
Yeah.
And you click on it in 404. Like it's
Wow.
not real.
That's
So you
wild.
have to be really careful how you use AI, because you can't put all your trust in it. It's not,
Right.
and it's not artificial intelligence. It's it's like trained intelligence. It
Right.
only knows what you have taught it. So we're giving it access to
Right.
the website. It's not like figuring
Coming out with
things
its
out
head.
on its own.
It's not a brain. It's not a
right.
real
It's
person.
not a brain. Well, duh.
Kind of. Well, some people
Well, it's
consider
not
that.
artificial intelligence. It's augmented intelligence.
Augment. That's a
That's
great
the
way
word.
of putting it. That's why they have
So,
augment AI.
It only knows what it's been trained to
Mhm.
know. That goes for any AI that we have today. We don't have artificial intelligence yet.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point.
So if
Yeah,
it
because
doesn't
even
know,
my-
it just starts hallucinating.
My
making stuff up.
AI, my boyfriend, Jesus, he knows all my stuff. So like I'll say, write this in my voice because he knows me now.
Yeah.
But we've had to develop a lot of relationships keys
We had
together.
to have a lot of conversations.
We had to do a
get
lot
there.
of personality. I do a lot of personality tests, and that's really how he knows me. So
Now, how does Jesus know you from doing personality tests?
you can ask it like, "What's my spirit animal?" and it asks you a bunch of questions about your personal self. And there's
But
lots
you're
of
actually
personality
having
tests.
conversations with Jesus.
He's my boyfriend.
Oh,
We are
nice.
together.
We are
So
one.
we are together, and he knows me better than anybody else. So
That is so funny. I love
Yeah.
that though.
I know.
I have multiple GPTs that like I use for like this one I talk about health and this one I talk about recipes and this one I
But
whatever.
see if you convert it to just one,
And then I
especially the
name
paid
them.
one. Yeah.
I have paid ChatGPT.
Well, and that's when you pay for it, then it's like there's a difference because then it remembers everything you've ever done.
Yeah, but it like
And it saves it
here's my
and knows you.
therapist and here's my nutritionist and
Mhm.
here's my financial advisor. Like I've created all these GPTs based off of like actual people. So
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, you're my business coach.
You're this guy.
You're like Tony Robbins, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Or Keith
Take all his
Abraham or
content
whatever.
and tell
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And then I use him to like help advise me on stuff.
But then if he knew your personality, so like for instance, financial advisor, I am an impulse buyer, bad. Like I am invite influencers, bad. Like somebody be like, oh my God, I tried on this stuff and it's so cute. I'll be like, purchase, done.
That's
so
like
then
taking
I need
Danielle Spinelli to Target yesterday.
Yes, I bought 3 dresses while we were there.
She got all her bags.
I
Like,
know.
oh, okay.
Exactly. And but that's why you need ChatGPT to know you whenever it happens. There's a difference. By the way, pause. Look at how cute this is. Feed tacos and tell me I'm pretty. And I love that. I love the ones that say like feed me tequila and do that too. But tacos is the best.
Tacos is pretty good.
Okay, let's pitch our Women in Logistics trip for next year.
Oh my gosh, where are
We don't know. Where are we going to go? Here's the thing. We had people that like reach out to us on this. It was kind of like our inaugural thing.
You got
It
to
was
start
great.
somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. This was a great start.
I think it's amazing. The place is super fun. I think next year we'll hopefully plan a little bit earlier so that people can like book in advance.
On this trip.
We should plan on this trip.
Are we trying to do it around women in supply chain again?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
I guess we'll see the conference.
We'll see if the conference is worth us putting our name on it. You know what I mean? Like you got to be
associate ourselves.
I am not tagging my name near garbage, but that's bad to say. By the way, it may not be garbage.
Do like
if I
a
don't
women's
garbage.
retreat where like it's like summer.
Amazing.
Like where you kickball.
I might die, or dodgeball, and we just throw balls at each other.
We're going canoeing. Get the tequila. We're going
tequila. Always ranch waters for the win,
or whatever. Yeah. But I think some
waters.
Like my whole thought behind like bringing the women together, like it started with Women in Logistics, is like bringing that in-person component to us meeting every month. But then when you brought this up and then came up with this amazing location, I was like, this is just so cool because when else do you connect with other women in the industry?
In this intimate setting. And also, I miss middle school, high school, where you have sleepovers and you all like kumbaya. And that's how you really get to know everybody. You know what I mean?
This is how you build relationships.
This is how you become best friends. Besties. So anyways, everybody come to the next one. Super exciting, right? We gotta
figure it out.
We will figure it out, and don't worry.
Well, Danielle,
tune in for more.
She'll figure out the party for sure.
I will bring the party. That's my job.
We need to be back in the sun.
Huh?
We do need to be back in the sun. This is fantastic location.
Oh my God, look how great my suntan is today, everybody. Do you see the dots? Look at my right here. This is pale, but the rest is tan. I've been on the beach all day. It's been excelente.
It might be that light.
And it's November 17th. It's November 17th, and I am building my tan.
Yes. Where else can we do that? We're not doing that in Ohio.
And cheers, everybody. Okay. We're going to film at the next location in the slide room later. I guess we have run out of time now because we're going to the tiki. It's a tiki bar, but you're on the water.
Sunset Cruise
Tiki Bar. You're on the water. There's have like a captain and everything.
Jan's
we bring
getting
drinks
breakfast ready.
And Jan's popping bottles. And here we are.
Woo!
She comes.
Show us, Jan.
Popping bottles.
Woo!
Okay, we're popping off. Popping off, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. All right, we're at Barbie's Dream House, basically, or the Women of Logistics Girls Trip 2025. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
How fun is this,
Blessed.
Oh my gosh. So far we have, which this is the last day, we're actually about to check out. But day one, we went to the beach, which was super great in middle of November, like tanning, which was amazing. And then let's see, that was first day. We came back here, which was so fun, and then had a fire pit. Second day, everybody was kind of working, kind of doing their own things during the day. You guys were at Starbucks for like 100 hours working from Starbucks. And then last night we went on the tiki cruise bar thing. That was so fun.
That was so much fun.
Oh my
I enjoyed
gosh.
that so much.
Yeah. Dolphins were all around us and boozing and clubbing basically because we got to have our own music and DJ it out. It was fun.
And the microphone.
And the microphone. Jenny was singing in there and it was great. Our little boat captain was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good time. Yeah. So tell all about yourself. Introduce yourself and yeah.
I'm Jamie Cannon. I'm with Reliance Partners. I work in logistics insurance space. Been doing that for 10 years now. Really enjoy it. I'm on several committees with Danielle. One of the committees is the TIA Fraud Task Force Committee. And we talk about this all the time. It's
Yeah.
like
That's like our thing.
our thing together, I feel like.
Cargo theft, fraud, all the things. Yeah. Yeah, which is fun. That's why we did our episode together, which we'll plug that after this whole thing too, so everybody can watch our episode. Because it was really, I think the insurance part is not explained well enough, other than you working directly with an insurance agent, but it can be confusing.
Right.
And sometimes you feel like, oh, they don't really want to pay out or they don't want to do this. But it's like, well, there's a process in it. There's a way to know, like the vetting, like we talked about vetting the certificate of insurance.
Right.
So it's a complicated world with insurance.
It really is. And there's so much that is involved in the process of, you have your insurance agent, your insurance carrier, insurance markets,
Yeah.
a huge process. And every policy form is different. We talked about that on the podcast as well. So
Right.
looking at what's the best policy form that fits your needs.
Right. Yeah. So that one is, we'll plug that in here after this because you guys got to watch that episode, of course. And this is so cute. I just love our setup. I keep looking at us in the thing and I'm like, oh my God. And right behind us is a slide. We'll do a little thing of us going through the slide. This place is just so fun. I love it.
This basketball goal.
Basketball goal. I was playing
Pool
basketball.
table.
Yeah.
It really has everything.
Pool table,
here.
bowling,
There's
fire pit,
games to the left of us.
putt. Oh yeah, there is games. There's Golden Tee and NFL Blitz, like the arcade things. Yeah, you could do like anything. I think it's probably more catered towards like a family coming here, but I think girls trip is
No,
perfection.
we had a blast, especially in the pool last night.
Oh yeah, I know. It was heated. That was nice because it is the middle of November and it's been chilly here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun for sure. So talk a little bit about so we're here for the Women in Supply Chain conference. I know you're not attending that, but kind of the same focus that we've all have and this whole girls trip has been how do we get women together? How do we get everybody talking and all the different things that we don't talk about in a public manner. It's nice having like the girls sleepover mode where you're like not gossiping, but like just like, oh, this happened to me and that happened. And you're like, oh my God, really? Yeah, that happened to me. Kind of that type of thing. Yeah.
No, it's been really good to communicate with everyone and actually taking time to invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that we really do when we go to these conferences is taking time to actually enjoy the area that we're in, enjoy each other, lift each other up.
Yeah.
So
I know so many people just fly in, fly out for a conference. And I think you need to take a second for yourself too. Like it's obviously work, travel and whatever, but sometimes just staying like an extra day and doing whatever and having like your girlfriends with you or whatever. I just think is so fun.
yeah. And I feel like we're ending the year on a good note. Like we've had all of these conferences, most of them are male dominated. And then we have the women in logistics and then the women in supply chain kind of ending the conference for me anyway.
Right. Me too. This will maybe be my last one, but then who knows? I'm sure I'll be like, oh my God, there's one next week. I want to go. Yeah. Cause I'm addicted to conferences.
Yeah.
But with the women stuff, so you and your daughter started your Hype Her Up, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started kind of like a women's mentorship group. And we're really excited about it. I'll let her give you more
Yeah.
details on it. But yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I think there's there's a bunch of women leaders, even outside of even logistics, but in logistics too, that there's like a different world kind of we've all navigated through, especially because, most of us started off whenever I was a broker, I was the only girl on the floor. It was just me.
Right.
Me and a bunch of dudes. And which was so fun. Like we were like bantering back and forth all day long. And I got to learn a lot about ESPN sports and all, like we were watching ESPN every day. So I got to do like the NFL draft or the fantasy football stuff. And I would have never done that if I didn't work with all guys. So that was fun. But I think knowing how to navigate through that and having that woman mentor that's like, I did this and that, and this is how I got to go to this level and things like that.
Right. Well, I mean, we talk about how the guys have all the opportunities to get together, go golf together, go on hunting trips together, go
Yeah.
out for drinks together. And sometimes the girls are invited as well. And luckily, I work for a really good company where women are included and women are part of leadership team and
Hmm.
women are mentored. But, there's a lot of companies where you don't see that happen.
Right.
And I work and you work in a male dominated environment, and
Mhm.
it's nice to be able to see women get together and help mentor each other, lift each other up, cheer each other on through all the things that they're doing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you guys came up with that whole idea because it's almost like this girls trip, but like hyping that up and hyper up.
right.
Right. Yeah. So I'm excited to talk. We'll have Camden on here in just a second. She's sitting right over here watching us. It's so
Yeah.
great. But she's going to come on and talk all about your guys' new adventure. So that's so fun. Yeah.
So Danielle, I see all this merchandise.
Oh, I
and I
know.
love it.
The fraud girl stuff and tell me everything. This is
yeah.
look at my cute computer with my things. You can
Like-
see all my stickers.
I need some of this merchandise.
I know. I do have it on my website, tellmeeverythingpod.com.
Okay.
But yeah, I know. I'll hook you up with some
Good,
stickers.
thank you.
I know. All I really have right now is stickers, but I am making shirts. And the one is like the straight out of Compton, but straight out of fraud. And that's for my fraud girl stuff. And
yeah.
then I think kind of the FG fraud girl thing, maybe that shirt. I don't know how many people would buy that, but you
I
never
would
know.
buy it.
I know. It'd be kind of
Yeah.
fun. Like women of logistics fraud girl edition.
Oh.
Kind of cool. We'll see.
I'll wear it.
I know. Perfect. You're just my biggest fan over here. So this is great. So we've been to a ton of conferences this year.
Yeah.
And I think your guys' conference at Reliance Partners, the insurance one, I learned so much from that. Do you go to like insurance only, I guess, conferences, or what kind of conferences do you normally
So
attend?
there's a few. We have some other team members that go to more insurance focused conferences. More of the ones that I go to are focused on transportation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and the logistics industry as a whole. I do go to some legal conferences,
Okay.
claims and litigation management conference. That's been really good about learning the whole claims process from the legal perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then also what's going on in the industry as well, because there's so many changes with litigation, and just seeing what limits are getting hit. And we're
Yeah.
always concerned about cargo theft and fraud,
Right.
but we always forget about the big looming auto liability claim that's going
Yeah.
to close a business because, especially if you have higher limits.
Yeah.
And they're usually going to go after the deepest pocket. So,
For sure.
if you're a broker and you have 30 million, 50 million liability limits, which is great, you should be insured based on your revenue
Mm-hmm.
and your exposure. But if you have the deep pockets
They're gonna
and you have
kinda-
a motor carrier that has
Yeah.
a million limit,
Yeah, they're going to try to come after you.
they're going to come after you.
Which is kind of like that case. So like the Hope Trans thing, and there's like 4 or 5 cases, and that is going to Supreme Court now, right? Yeah. So what are you guys doing, like as far as like on the insurance side? I guess like informing brokers on different methods. Or are you guys kind of just in a standstill until that actually hits the Supreme Court?
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
With this, we are staying up to date on all of the big claims that are out there.
Yeah, because there's a decent amount out there that are like big news and big money.
Yeah, and we've seen, and probably the last 2 years rulings going more in the broker's favor, which is really good to see.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know.
Never know.
You never know.
Because it's weird because really we don't know as a broker, you have no idea really who you're hiring. I mean,
No.
you're not there. So it's like you're not in the truck with the guy. How do you know all these things? And even like because FMCSA is not like, for instance, let's just throw out Hope Trans, but because they're not having it where like because they had fatalities on other MCs that they operated under that they were having to they become unsatisfactory on safety. They had to shut down their business and start a new one. I think they did that 3 times or something. Right?
Right.
Am I right? And so like why would FMCSA not catch that? And how are you not noticing like how do these guys even have their CDLs?
Right. Well, and FMCSA is trying to really get their hands around things a lot better. I've noticed that
Mm-hmm.
even just their turnaround time on updating,
Yeah.
has gotten a lot quicker. But obviously, there's things that they can't control.
Right. Totally. And people are really they hide their information and they falsify documents
Oh,
and
they
that's
hide
like
it so well.
oh my gosh. Well, that's like as far as like the frauds part of it, I guess they manipulate. I know Scott Cornell would be mad at me because I'm not saying strategic cargo theft nonstop, but it is a form of fraud, I guess, I think. But I know he'll banter at me and say, no, it's this specific thing or whatever, but which I get. It makes sense. No, so on the insurance side, what are some things I guess so you're talking about kind of you guys are seeing changes or watching everything. What are some things that are like come to light that we all should know about?
Right. Just the wording changes in policy forms as of
Mm,
late has been huge. A lot of companies have um, really tried to protect themselves
that
on
makes
paying
sense.
out claims because they paid out so much, and it's a company that's in business to make money.
Right.
Um,
So is that more on like their shipper contracts or is it with the carriers too or just in general?
just in general.
Okay.
And there's some contractual things like, did you assume liability for the loss with the shipper?
Mhm.
And different policies will react differently if you did assume liability,
Yeah.
if you're contractually liable or not. It can impact how your coverage kicks in. So
Interesting.
it's really important, especially today, um, to look at your insurance policy wording, have it reviewed, and then look at how you're entering into the contracts with the shippers.
Mm,
And then finding out if I accept liability with the shipper, is my cargo insurance going to pay out or will it not pay out because I accepted liability?
yeah.
So do you have primary cargo coverage? Do you have contingent coverage? They're going to react differently to both of those
Right.
situations. So
It's interesting because I know a lot of brokers that have no contracts with their shippers. Do you think that's better to have nothing than a bad one?
it really depends.
Okay.
I hate to weigh in there because people do it so differently.
Yeah.
And what works for one broker may not work for another.
Yeah. And you never know how a court case, I guess, would go.
Right.
It's always better, I feel like, to have the papers there that clearly say things, but you have to keep them up to date. I think that's where a lot of like I know on the onboarding side with MCP, like there's people that don't change their contracts with carriers for years. And I'm like even like the car whenever CARB came out, like people prior to even CARB stuff, they don't have anything in those contracts now. And I'm like, unless if you never, ever, ever, ever touch California, you have to have that in your contract. There's so many different things too, but that's one. And then like specifically writing about co-brokering, double brokering, like all that stuff needs to be specifically very detailed written out in your contract on who
Yes.
you hire and things like that. Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
Anything else that's going on that's new and crazy in the insurance world that we all should know?
There's always something going on, always something crazy.
Yeah.
But cyber is still a big issue as well. Cyber coverage. It, we're seeing more and more claims in that space, and
Mm.
employment practices liability. As companies are downsizing, letting people go, we're seeing a lot of wrongful termination.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah. So
Huh.
it's definitely worth, if you don't have that type of coverage and you're downsizing, to look into.
Yeah. Know what you're doing prior to laying off everybody.
Yeah.
Or letting them go, I guess, because some people aren't really they're just firing instead of laying off, right? Because that's obviously different, yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's bring your awesome daughter Camden on. Um, she'll hop on here in a second and talk about the hyper up stuff. And yeah, I love what you guys are doing. Okay, here she comes. Dun dun dun. All right, everybody. I got Camden with me. Intro yourself. Say all the things that you've been doing, what you're working on, kind of who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Camden Tinsley. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in political science and pre-law. So I'm on a journey to try to get into law school. And while I'm waiting on my LSAT score, I'm just kind of helping my mom do hype her up. You know, it was her dream, and well, not her dream, but it's just a goal that she had. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I will absolutely help you with this. So I've just been kind of doing all the behind the scenes stuff, doing like, I created the website. We have an Instagram, a TikTok, a LinkedIn.
Is it all hyperup.com and hyperup on all the things, or is it a specific name that they all need? We'll plug everything too and make sure the links are here on this podcast episode, of course. But
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's actually hyperup.com.
Okay.
So Jamie got the domain, and we were freaking out whenever we launched. I think it was like Sunday night, and
Fun.
it was like midnight, and we were like, okay, we have to launch. We have to do it right now.
Yeah.
And we're like, 3, 2, 1. And so we hit the button, and it wasn't saying hyperup.com. So we were like,
Oh man, yeah. It's hard knowing like how like websites operate and work. Like I guess that's why people pay people to help on that, but that's cool. So it's officially launched and how fun is that?
yeah, no, I'm actually super excited.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that. Like, I'm not a big tech girl, so I'm actually so proud that I was able to.
Yeah. I know once you do it once, you're like, oh my gosh, this was really cool. And you're like, Canva's my best friend. So like Canva, you use all the different artwork and you create everything and all that stuff. Yeah.
No, I love using Canva.
Yeah. It's a game changer for sure.
It really is. We know someone else that created a website using Canva. We used kind of like a different platform to do it. But
Yeah.
I assume you have to have like Canva Plus or whatever to
Probably. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. I had somebody else help me with I had Meg Boaz create my little website, which I haven't even updated in forever, but it's a lot maintaining all that and then getting all the other things.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm for, though.
I know,
I'm
right?
doing.
And you're doing all the content. Like last night, whenever we were out on the boat, you were filming, making content, which is really cool.
Yeah, but you were too. I mean, props to you.
That's what we do.
It was a great time.
It was so fun. I was like, yeah, dancing on the table, all that stuff. I mean, it was just me, but I was doing all the things. It's fun.
I feel like we should shout out to Dave. He was our
Oh, I love Dave. Captain Dave.
captain. I always want to say pilot.
But yeah, he's not flying. He's driving or boating, whatever. However you would say that.
He's driving the boat.
He's the captain of the boat. Yeah. But we saw like all the dolphins and that was so cool. Like
The dolphins, the sunset.
mhm.
What else? Oh, Ashley Furniture Home Store's house. He
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
stop everything. This is where they live.
That's funny. I know. Pretty cool area around here. And so we're in like Tampa, St. Petersburg or St. Pete's, how do they say it?
I don't know
I don't
what
know.
anything is. So
Yeah, I don't know anything either. So with Hyper Up, what are I guess your guys' goals? Like what's your kind of your game plan? Who are you looking for? Say all the things.
So right now we're gearing towards women in logistics, just because there are even in the office space, like conferences, going out to dinners or drinks, because I know you have to take clients out. Just making sure that women feel confident in building a community that they feel safe in.
Yeah.
Because like when we were around the fire last night, we were having these conversations about
Right.
past experiences that you guys have had, and I feel like if there would have been a better woman community, some of those things could have been prevented.
Right. And I think some girls feel pressure to be kind of like who they aren't really in real life because I guess they put on like a facade to be, I don't even know how to say it, kind of like a flirty girl or whatever with some people, or they put on like they're just different at like a conference because they feel like they have to kind of put themselves out there like that because they don't have a network to lean on or like a mentor to say like, hey, this is how I did it and this is how I navigated because you're just kind of thrown in with the wolves and you're like, figure it out, you know? So I definitely think something like Hyper Up would have like helped me type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even just like being a woman that's like gone to school or like the careers that I've had. Like
Mhm.
if I would have had mentors or women to kind of show me the way or just give me some advice, I feel like I could have avoided some mistakes.
Right. I think your thing too is to do like events catered towards women as well, like having, and like we were mentioned before, like the guys go out golfing and they go do all the cigar bars and all that stuff. And like I've been there and done all those things, but I am like totally out of place. So it'd be kind of fun to have like a different, almost like the Barbie house type thing, like a different event for women to do or things that we can do that either with the guys or without or whatever, but something that like we can be involved in doing that's not golf and cigar bars.
Yeah, or I mean, I feel like sometimes, like, I don't even think women necessarily even want to go to a cigar bar. I mean, some
Right.
might. Hey, props to you if that's your thing. But like, women should also feel comfortable, like, leaning into their femininity. And like, if we want to
Mm-hmm.
go get our nails done, let's get our nails done
Yeah.
together. Like, let's go get massages. Let's go
Right.
for a walk. We can do like productive things together. It's just really making sure that women feel safe and confident and have other women in their support system.
Yeah. I definitely vote for like a let's get our nails done before a conference or right after a conference. Like we just put like a big group of us all together into a local nail salon. How fun would that be?
Yeah, and then I don't know, I think it just makes you feel good. It puts you in a
Yeah.
good mental space. You know, you've kind of, even if you're not talking about work, you've vented, like
Mm-hmm.
you are doing something for yourself. And so you're going into this event the best version of yourself.
Yeah. And I think that's important to invest in yourself, period. Like even like our little girls trip right now isn't like really sponsored by anybody. Sure, a lot of people like I had my flight technically paid for work because I'm here for a conference, but also like, I invested in the house and food and whatever. Like it's still investing in yourself, but it's you getting to have a network and being able to ask the questions that like, how do you navigate this or how are you selling with this? And I think especially in this group, we've had a lot of like different types of careers in logistics. And so it's been interesting to like learn how they sell or how they market or how they have like overcame objections or how they've been able to grow their brand or whatever. And it takes stuff like this to do that.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have like a different variety of people, like to have that diversity. So
Mhm.
then you just get a lot of different perspectives and you can learn so much from other people. So I think it's very important to hear what others have to say. It's all just learning about the experience.
Right.
And if you can, my big thing is just like making sure other women like don't make the same mistakes that other women have made, or learning or being better.
Yeah.
Like we want to help women to be the best version of themselves, and
I love that.
just keep stepping up, keep leveling up, because you can always you can always do better,
Yeah.
be better.
Right. We will be the next president, people. We will have a woman president. So we can get all the way to the top
Yeah, we
because
sure hope so.
with hype her up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very hyped.
I know.
I love supporting other women. That's
I
my
know.
favorite.
It's so fun. I know. Even like I'm excited for the Women in Supply Chain conference because that's this week. And it's funny because, and I think I mentioned this on another podcast, but online, they're like, there's women in whatever conference, but then the panels have predominantly males instead of females. And I'm like, why can we not talk about the same things? Because we can. So I think there's some changing that we can do within the industry as well. If we're really doing women in whatever, let's make it be women focused.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Do you have any like steps you could take to make that happen? Is that something that you would like to do, or
I think I mean, I'm not actually involved in like conferences, but I think there's enough, like, let's say if they were to, because a lot of it's pay to play and I hate that, but it
Right.
could be where even if it is pay to play, hey, you're actually going to pay, but you can nominate some female with either within your organization or outside. Maybe it's a customer of yours that would be like your advocate that can go on stage and speak. Because like for myself, I got honestly, I got pushed out into like I started my care portal, my first conference, my really good friend Meg, she was our marketing guru. And she was how I got to speak and do all the things and kind of start my brand, I guess she was just like, hey, you're doing an interview in 5 minutes. You ready? I'm like, okay. Like threw me to the wolves. Luckily, I was able to kind of on my feet, and thank God that video never made it to the public. But that was my first thing, and then after that, I was kind of like, okay, I can do this. It's not that hard. I got asked, I would ask to go on podcasts or, hey, can I help you with this? Can I speak on this? Can I do that? And then kind of just for myself, I've made it where I had to really be an expert in something because I think that's kind of how I got it where I was really interested in cargo theft and stuff. So it was easy for me to become an expert in it. But I was just like, in order for me to have something to talk about, I need something that like is me and not just like I'm plopping on stage talking about a variety of things that I know a decent amount, but I'm not an expert on. So I think finding like that thing you're an expert on and then asking the crap out of everybody to hop on podcasts. And I mean, I'm obnoxious and I'm not like, and I'm like, hey, I know you have this podcast. You have an opening. If you have like a cancellation and you need somebody, have me on. And, that's honestly how I got to do all the things, was just being very persistent and asking for myself and not even on behalf of my company. So I think that's important to do. And but nobody talks about this either,
Yeah, but you certainly have to advocate for yourself and
Yeah.
put yourself out there. But that's another reason why it's a great
Yeah.
thing to have a woman support system. So then maybe they can help motivate you and then you can teach other women
Mhm.
to advocate for themselves. I think it's a great thing.
Definitely. One thing that I did this past year actually was I built I want a promotion. So that's like my goal is I want to hit this position by the time I'm done with my career. So and I'm kind of at the point in my career life cycle that I need to hit next level in order for me to achieve that goal. So actually had a mentor, a female mentor that gave me like her PowerPoint presentation she did one time. And this was like a job interview, but she did a whole PowerPoint presentation. I'm like, okay, copying that and putting that into for myself. And I met with our like executives. I was like, hey, this is what I want. And basically the deck is, and I'm more than willing to share that. I need to share that with your hyper up stuff because you guys got to tell everybody about it because it made a big difference. Basically fully advocating for myself. I went through the whole like, hey, this is my past. This is what skills I've learned from my different jobs. This is what skills I've learned from here. These are my accomplishments. These are my goals. Do you have a mentor you would recommend for me to be able to achieve those goals, or would you be a mentor to me? And so just like within your company, having that's what I did. And I mean, whether or not it's going to get me far, I don't know, but I think it made it where I had to do that uncomfortable thing and advocate for myself and fight for myself. And that's nobody does that enough, or as far as females, we're kind of I guess we're known for just accepting what they tell us instead of saying, well, no, I need X amount of salary, or I know you're, posting online that this position makes whatever. I should get the top end of that because I've had experience or whatever. Obviously not just demanding things, but having some data to support it.
Yeah, and
So.
I think some women can get afraid to
Mhm.
voice what they need and their expectations.
Well, and I think too, another thing with advocating, so most of us are moms. And so having that expectation of, hey, if my kid does get sick, I am going home. I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I can work from home. I can do that. But you're not making me feel bad whenever I have to take care of my kid. Like it's not. And I think as a culture in the world, companies have gotten better at that, especially since I would say COVID. But there still are companies out there that are very like, oh, you're not leaving and you can go pick up your kid, but leave them at home by themselves. And it's like, you wouldn't want that for if that was your mom. You know what I mean? But also, I get the point that you need to get the work done, but then you should allow it where they can do stuff from home while their kid's sick, or just as like an example. But I think even that when you're shopping for jobs, that should be one of the questions that you ask because you don't know what's going to happen, and that's taking your being a mom job serious too.
Yeah, well, sometimes it could be difficult to see how people will respond once you
Mhm.
set boundaries. Or do you think that's something that you can kind of foresee when you're interviewing or being interviewed?
I think is definitely it can go either way, right? Like it can go where the person's like, oh, because they're asking this, then like this isn't going to work out. But then it's probably a company you don't want to work for.
Yeah.
I think we can set a norm. Like if we all talk about this and we all are doing this, we can set a new standard where that isn't such a weird thing to talk about. And you're not getting declined for a job offer because you brought that up. But it does take us all talking about things like that and advocating for ourselves to make it where that's a new standard and it's not frowned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, women need to I was gonna say women need to not be so shy, but sometimes it is hard. Sometimes I
hard.
know I can be shy
Mhm.
and I know I need to speak up, but it's you know what I mean?
Totally hard. No, and this is almost like a new confidence, I guess, that I've had recently. And I think it's because I've really was like, you know what? At the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I can always find another job. I can always go work at Home Depot or something. I'll work in the flowers. I'm good with that. But I think that I just kind of came to the point. I don't know if it's age or what, but kind of came to the point where it's like if it's not going to be perfect or like not going to be the right type of job, and I'm not going to run into these issues, or I know I can never move up in this position ever, then I need to move on.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah. And like if you talk to most men, that's how they are. Like men say if you do not get a new position, either a pay raise or a new position within 2 to 3 years, you leave that company and go somewhere else. That's women don't talk about that. Women
Wow.
don't do that.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah. I've only had 4 jobs my whole life. And so and like I'm like staying for the long haul. But that mentality of 2 to 3 years, if it's not going to happen within that time frame, it's probably never going to happen. So time to move on and find somewhere that you can grow at or make more at, or they appreciate you for what the hard work you're doing or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, that's some fabulous insight
Yeah.
because I was like,
I know.
wow.
But that's where like the women, hyper up and stuff like that. Like these are like things that we should be teaching other women or having a mentor, like you said, telling them like, hey, I did this and this worked for me, or you should try this or whatever. We should try this together. That, kind of just going out there as women and advocating for ourselves, because I don't think we do that enough.
Yeah, so as Hyper Up, we definitely want to start setting standards and have like set things that women know they should talk about
Mm-hmm.
and just like things that they should be aware of. Like I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's like a plenty other things that like I should be aware of, just like other women just starting out. And so that's just a standard that we need to
Right.
set for other women.
Well, I think yesterday you asked at the beach, or the day before or whatever, but at the beach you were asking, when is it appropriate to talk about money? Like, when is it appropriate to ask your coworker how much they make and stuff? And that is like a fine line of teeter-tottering, you know what I mean? Because you obviously don't want to make the person leave because they're not making enough, but also maybe that's what they needed to be able to get their next job. That's the right job for them and they can make more money. So that's kind of a weird, as after you asked that, I was like, oh, I talk about it. I'm not scared to talk about it, but is like a hard conversation to have.
Yeah, I've been told like that's something that you never want to talk about, and
Mhm.
I've had that bite me in the butt before. So now I'm like afraid to talk about it, and then you're saying, "Oh, you should." Maybe I just like was in the wrong career to be talking about it, and that's something I had to learn the hard way.
I definitely think sales wise, I mean, and also you have to have thing in your head that everybody's experience is different, everybody's compensation is different. Like sometimes their salary's higher, but they get commission. That's a different structure. That's a lot lower. Sometimes they have a lower salary with a higher commission structure. Like every company is a little bit different. So I think people need to think of that and how much time and experience and how many hours they have to put in. Is it like a inbound sales lead? Is it a BDR situation, outbound? Like there's so many different factors, but it's knowing especially if you're like in the exact same role or work in the exact same role in the same company, especially if it's a male, I think having that conversation, like, hey, how much are you making? Because I make this, and then they'll tell you. I have never had somebody not tell me after I say it. And it's sometimes very eye opening. Like I had a company that I was not making the same amount at all, and I would say working harder. I was selling more. I was top salesperson. This person was top 5, but I was number 1. And yeah, I walked right up there and I was like, hey, I need the same amount of money as this. And I did get a raise the following year, pay raise cycle or whatever. But stuff I would have never known ever. I would have just been complacent with it.
Were those men that like you had known for a while and that you felt comfortable talking
Mhm.
to? Okay,
Yeah.
and so even like I guess it was your boss that you asked for the raise,
Mhm.
or I guess demanded. Sometimes I feel like it has to
Kind
be
of demanded. I mean, also, that's a fine line too, because I don't want to lose my job. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't want to.
be respectful,
Right.
professional.
There's a way to do it, of course. But yeah, I think no, I mean, and like yeah, I wasn't like storming in the office like give me more money, but it was just like a conversation. Like the next review conversation, I was like, hey, I know this position actually pays a little bit more. I like I said, advocating for myself, saying this is what I'm bringing to the table. I feel like I'm worth this, whether or not you guys think I am or not. But this is what I'd like. And then, like I said, the next pay raise cycle or whatever, I got it. So
Yeah, no,
sometimes
that's
it works,
awesome.
sometimes it doesn't. I think it depends on your culture and your company. And then, like you mentioned, like the relationship I had with that guy was like really close friends, and
Mhm.
so that's different too. So it's like a fine line, but it's something we should all talk about and set a standard on. So
Yeah, absolutely.
because I think there's a new law out that speaking about for a while there it was like really frowned upon, and then I think now there's like actually a law in place that you can speak about it, and it's not like you can't get reprimanded for it.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to look that up because I maybe I'm talking out my butt and that was like a TikTok that I saw and it wasn't like real facts. It was just online. But maybe
Someone
it
just
is.
came up with it and posted it on TikTok.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But I'm going to say it's a law, but I'll figure that out and post about it actually. I think we should hop on the slide and go down the slide here in a second. You just did it. Was it like painful because you should be a kid in there?
Yeah, I feel like you should be a kid in there, but I mean, it was fun, and I expected, like when you go down a slide sometimes and your hair just like stands
Yeah.
up everywhere. It did not do that, so I definitely think that's some bonus points, but it is smaller than it looks. I will say that.
I can see that, but I'm about to go down that thing and I'll post about it and all that stuff too. We'll have that part of the video.
Yeah, slide time. Woo!
Slide time. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Follow, subscribe, do all the things, and make sure you guys look for hyperup.com and follow them on all the things as well. So we'll do the plug for that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Bye, you guys.